Just like always, we have no idea how to start these things at all.
Absolutely.
But I do believe we have a good idea how to start this. Hey everyone, I'm Sly47. I'm joined here with Matt and Alister from Rage. And today, we hold a funeral for all of our bad opinions that we had last year. These will not be missed at all. Are you kidding me? No, this will not be missed. These are some horrible takes.
Yes.
horrible takes. We're looking back.
They are truly god-awful.
Yep, so we're just going to do the best thing about this and reset it because, dear Lord, we need to start over. And then, of course, this year we are swapping up playable and niche. But let's actually get to this. Alister, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just hoping we can somehow delete the footage of last year from our last tier list because it was pretty bad.
Matt, how are you doing?
Pretty good. It's just I'm gonna have to find some courage to apologize to the Blitz community.
Oh, yeah. I think they'll take this entire video of us fixing up our very, very mediocre takes last year and improving them overall. But let's make sure everything's in order, which now it is. And we are now going to be starting the 2024 Cruiser tier list all over again. We are going to remedy all of our horrible fixes. And we decided, for this being a time-honored tradition of ranking cruisers, cheers everyone. It's been just an amazing season so far, and thank you to Alister and Matt for joining me once again this year in ranking the cruisers. Matt, of course, is too cool to drink with us tonight.
Oh my goodness, I drank way too much.
Wait, hold on. You do it.
Come on, man, come on. Okay, now we've got this. Let's start off. Let's start off with Alexander Nevsky. Who wants to take it? Because I've got a lukewarm opinion on it.
Go ahead.
I played it in the Christopher Colombo meta, dude. Matt, go ahead and take it, bro.
Okay. So I got Nevsky probably 3 months ago, and everyone was telling me shoot HE, shoot HE, shoot HE. Well, I didn't. Common to everyone's opinion, you actually need to be shooting AP in Nevsky, and Nevsky's kind of like Moskva and some other ships where the better you aim, the better your position, the better you're going to do. And what I have found with Nevsky is it's one of my highest average cruisers at the moment. I think it's one of my top 10 highest cruisers at the moment. So I think it's high competitive, low meta, somewhere in that range. The biggest downside of Nevsky is the light armor. And you have to be able to somehow balance the long range with the ability to dodge. So that's my take on Nevsky.
I actually went with high playable in that it requires a lot of a player to make it really useful. It really is kind of in this awkward state of where its good guns are keeping it up, but it's light armor and it's kind of poor maneuverability kind of sacrifice it in this meta where its guns are the only good part about it, really, and then its skills, while you do have radar and you do have precise aim, it's already pretty precise. You don't really use precise aims or need them overall. And then the radar is kind of counterintuitive because you're always wanting to stay at that 12 kilometers plus, really sniping with the AP, and occasionally using HE if you're just not as good of a player for that, which that can happen. That can be a real thing. It's like sometimes maybe you do the whole kind of like the Conqueror trick where you fire HE after a certain range because you're just not as good of a sniper, but hey, maybe you should shoot AP in order to do that, in order to get better. Alister, do you have any thoughts?
Well, with the meta as it is right now, give me 1 second. Sorry, that vodka's still hitting me.
Weak.
What's St. Vincent's range on its guns right now?
Oof.
You guys know off the top of your head with camouflage?
No, I don't know off the top of my head. I just know it's good.
I have the game open. Give me 1 second.
Is it under like 14 kilometers? Is the only question I have.
No, it's like 14 something. 14.96. It's almost 15.
I mean, St. Vincent is really accurate. And that's the battleship that everybody is pretty much grinding for in one picker. I played this thing during this Christopher Colombo meta back when it was OP. It did really well.
Alright.
But the scout planes and sniping at the back of the map still sucked. There's not much you can do because you have kind of mediocre maneuverability.
Yeah.
I feel like against St. Vincent you do better, so I could see it in competitive. But it's gonna have a difficult time.
I had it in
Against
that.
other cruisers and destroyers, it'll be amazing.
It does well. Like it holds up. That's why I was like the guns are just staying consistent. It is. Like that's why I put it. I didn't want to put it at low competitive. Right now, my current issue with going through everything is I've had times where I'm like I don't actually want to put it in low competitive because high playable sounds better. You know, it's like kind of that inclination towards it. So okay, we'll stick it in competitive, and we will be doing adjusting things overall in there. But I do feel like it needs a mobility buff. It just needs that soft stat buff, and I think it would actually be incredible.
So one last thing before we move on. The guns, they have Des Moines reload. So you basically have one less gun than Des Moines, and your AP damage is about the same. So you're basically taking Des Moines, taking away the AA, and then giving it more range. So and contrary to the belief of sitting at range, at early parts of the game, yes, 100%. But you also have 35 knot speed, and if you take the correct supplies, you're running 36. So a lot of the time, I find myself pushing in Nevsky, into that mid-range, not necessarily close range. You do have torpedoes, but they're similar to German torpedoes of 6-kilometer range. So even like you have the DPM to push, you just have to be smart when you push, and that's why I think it's a little bit higher. Now, if you are staying at range for the majority of the game, there are better cruisers for the job.
I can completely agree. Now the Austin. I actually think last year we got it right. It's just competitive. It's a good solid. It's got a niche, but it's a damn good niche, especially right now in the DD meta. But anyone have any else to say?
This thing's a monster.
Yep. And also the ability to put Halsey on this and dump 30k into a random battleship, and if they miss, you get another rapid reload. So it is definitely competitive. It takes some getting used to, that's for sure. It's definitely a much harder ship to play, but regardless, it's still somewhere in competitive where it's very, very good boat.
Oh yeah, no, Austin's solid.
Especially with Gdansk coming out. I feel like this thing's the only thing that makes Gdansk actually think, like, okay, maybe I might not want to push up so quickly here. Because, yeah, you can smoke up, but you're the size of Manhattan in Gdansk. It's still going to hit you.
Even with all the light cruisers, like, I've done this several times with a Mino or Ginan, and it's just, if you can hit all your shots with SAP, you kill them in 13 seconds.
Oh yeah, it can be nasty.
It's pretty rough.
But also, Austin does take a little bit of time to learn because you do explode occasionally. It just kaboomy, especially from a St. Vincent or a Colombo.
Or in comp. I've done that to poor Austin in comp.
The other thing you also have to keep in mind is if you run into a CV that's actually very good at the game, you don't have much HP. So your AA is not going to help you. So you can get one shot if you're not careful.
Yeah, especially in FDR. Screw the FDRs.
Well, your AA doesn't mean a difference anyways, no matter what you're ragging.
Yeah, good point.
With FDR.
True. Okay, now I was messaged by Matt recently, actually I'd say about a month ago, about the Zao class and how we were horribly wrong on this one. So I'm going to let him take the Blk Zao, even though I really like it. Matt, what's your take on the Blk Zao?
Okay, so similar. Can I talk about Zao because we're kind of going in order?
Yeah, it's yeah.
Okay, so Blk Zao, instead of, you don't get access to the legendary equipment, which I at the moment do not run on Zao because it's too much gold. But Zao actually has rapid reload too, which in stats, theoretically, you should have way more fires. And the majority of people I talk to actually say they get more fires with Blk Zao. Now, I'm not sure how. Granddad also has talked about how if you shoot your HE shells and they hit the deck of the ship, you get 100% of your fire chance. Where if you hit the side of the ship, you're getting half of it. So I've, done my best to shoot at the decks of battleships and such, but I've had a much harder time with Blk Zao getting consistent fires like I do with normal Zao. So I've played it maybe 75 to 100 games, and I think it's like low competitive, medium and competitive, somewhere in that range. It's better than playable because the rapid reload, just, it with the meta that's going on, you can hit DDs very hard and you can hit them quicker than normals now. So that is kind of a better point, I guess you could say, on Blk Zao. So that's my view. I think it's not high competitive or meta by any means. It's not, one of the best, but it is definitely a good ship.
I consider an upgrade because of that rapid reload. You're able to get those more fires. You're able to do the whole set them on fire. Oh, cool. You're repaired. Wait 10 seconds. Pop the rapid reload. Burn them to a crisp and such. And I feel like the speed boost, a lot of people forget about that. And you can move in this sucker. You can dodge decent amount of shells, or at least kind of make sure they hit the tail end of your ship, so it's not fully hitting just the main area to get citadeled on. But I feel like this just does a better job right now overall, where the regular Zao is more trying to focus all on that concealment, and sometimes you're not able to use that concealment, where the Blk Zao has that offensive capability of rapid reload to kind of give it ways out, unlike the regular Zao. So, Alister, do you have any thoughts?
I played Zao a long time. I do not have good stats in Zao. So, no, I don't think I'm going to comment on this one. I think I'll stay out of this one.
Okay. I think that the mid competitive, I think that's a good place. I had it a little bit higher in the competitive in my notes, but right there, I'll definitely say it's pretty good.
Things might change as we go along. Like, you never know. Austin, Nevsky's, Blk Zao, more ships might get placed. We might move them around in competitive.
Oh yeah, definitely. Buffalo. Now, last year I argued against Buffalo being in meta. I shortly thereafter learned why the Buffalo is definitely in meta. Do we have anything else to say?
Thank you.
This is like one of the only opinions we had that wasn't trapped.
Yeah.
It's like, this is still here.
Yep. Now, it's not like the top of S, but it's still meta. I'm sorry, I keep on getting S and A mixed up with meta.
Don't worry
about it. It is still meta for sure.
Yeah, it is. Yes. I think it's about mid meta right now. It's holding it pretty solidly. Though I think it is definitely aging just a little bit. Once again, sonar would be really nice on it. But this with Halsey, that all I have to say is that, and everyone goes, yes, yep, that. Mm-hmm. War crime territory at that point, because you can do some nasty things with that. Oh
yeah.
Okay, now we're done with all the fun ships. Now to talk about Castilla. Castilla. Did you guys have any experience with this?
Bottom of niche. I played against it actually quite a bit. Red Gaming Dino, whenever it actually came out of NDA and it was actually released for the crates and whatever, I played several games against them, and I definitely think if you watched Boblin's video recently, he's kind of started to figure out kind of how to play the ship a little bit. Yeah. And I think based on that, it's somewhere in niche to like low playable. It's not as bad as needs fixing, like some people are saying, though. It has, if you're not, above the 50% in the game, I guess I'll say it that way. It's the downsides are going to eat you alive, and it's going to feel like it needs fixing. Where I think it's like high niche, low playable, somewhere in there.
Alister, I'm going to let you go first. What do you think?
I've watched gameplay of this ship, man. Its DPM is atrocious. It has god awful. And everybody's like, oh, but you have low range, but you have scout plane. I would prefer to have my range without a consumable, personally. That's just me. If you guys want to put it in playable and niche, I'm going to argue that it goes into niche, because just like my opinion of Napoli last year, which was, we'll get to that later, this thing should be a needs fixing.
So
this thing has issues.
I'm going to agree with Alister, actually. I'm going to think it's top of need fixing. I think that this thing, it's coming out. Like, that's the thing. It's not even out. So they have time to fix it. They have time to update it. They have time to change it. I think that it's way too weak. I think that its idea of basically kind of being decent at fire starting, and then you have that AP to finish things off and have that gimmick of just being able to do it. It's a lackluster cruiser at what it's trying to do. And then on top of that, it's got the armor that not even like the Napoli can hold up better than it. And it's the same, isn't fundamentally the same ship. It just doesn't have the secondaries active.
Yep.
So it's, why is it so weak? That is frustrating as all get out. That this should not be a weak ship. This shouldn't be. Especially since I remember in PC, everyone's saying it's actually quite tanky. So it's like, why do we have this
Well, it
weak?
should be.
If it was tanky, what it would be is definitely niche, because that gimmick is fucking hilarious. Sometimes it is amazing. And look at Bazan. Bazan showed that that gimmick can be good. Still, it needs stuff. It needs changes.
So
It
if
needs
you were to fix it, what were the changes you would do to it?
So
Because I'm in 100% agreement that it needs a buff. It needs not necessarily like some other ships that we will mention later buffs, but it needs buffs.
So I
So-
kind of agree with that range, but I feel that that range can be fixed with a commander rework and like that, because
If
that
you
way the
want to.
consumable. Yep.
I will argue that's fine. But what I would personally do for it is,
What do you
first
do?
of all, give it Napoli. What is up with this?
Give it armor. Something.
What is the obsession with giving these heavy cruisers with big guns that overpen destroyers no secondaries when they have them? First of all, Golden Lion, Castilla. Why do these things not have secondaries? They should have them.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
And then, last but not least, when I saw the Tier 9, because it came out in the early access, it was trash. And I was like, okay, maybe they'll fix Castilla. Maybe they'll give it a triple burst fire. Which, a triple burst fire would do this thing a lot of good. Like, take a second off the normal reload and then give it a triple burst fire and see what happens. Because
Then it's high risk, high reward, and that becomes a niche ship
Exactly.
right there. And I would love that. I'd be up for that.
if
Absolutely.
you
That's
want
a
to,
viable.
make that triple burst a stupidly long reload. Like, even longer than 3... What's the burst right now?
23
It's
seconds, I believe.
Yeah,
23 seconds, and the base reload is terrible.
Yep.
So give like a over 30-second reload on that burst. Watch it decimate. Because right now, you have a ship. You both know, all three of us know, it likes to flank. It has a super fast engine boost, and it has rapid reload 3 that does everything the ship does, but better. By a long shot. And you don't need a scout plane when they have that range.
Yeah, no,
Or,
Castilla needs
If you
fixing.
want to have crappy range on a good reload ship, we have Buffalo and Matt.
True.
There are plenty of DPM cruisers on this list. Castilla is not one.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah, just go-
I enjoy what you're saying, because look at what they did with Bazan. If they would have done something similar with how
Exactly.
they did Castilla, it would have been competitive,
It would
which
have
is
been great.
where we need cruisers.
Yep.
So
Especially right now with DDs, like the DD meta being
I mean-
so strong, we need cruisers to step up.
Everybody likes DDs, but we currently have, like, for example, Vampire. If you're not running a radar cruiser, this thing has smoke that lasts, 45 seconds? You can't hit the damn thing unless you're God tier at the game. Like, even my Hindenburg, if I go up against someone like Dino or Steve, I'm not going to hit them.
No.
You can't hit them. You can't radar them for longer than 10 seconds, so they can still wiggle their way out. Dude, it's horrible. And that's just Vampire. We have Bazan with the burst fire that can literally one-tap a DD after the half health.
and we just got Gdansk.
We got Gdansk.
Yep.
Radar smoke hybrid. It has bad detection. So let's give it radar and smoke.
Yeah.
yeah. Balance it.
You
balanced.
balance, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
no, the
got me.
DD meta is extremely healthy, and cruisers and battleships are faltering behind because of that, and we need to bring things up and make it work. And
There are a couple that still hold their ground.
they
Buffalo, Minnow, San
We'll get to them.
Martin.
We'll get to them. No, we got that. But the problem is there's a lot more when you look
forgot
at.
the next cruiser on the list, Alister.
Yeah, no, right. No, there's a lot of ships here that can do, but there's a bunch more in the cruisers and battleships that just need a lot of love. And once they get that love, they'll be fine. Like, it'll be a great meta. And it's not going to knock the DDs down. It's just going to make a complement to be against them and such. Which, speaking of Colbert, Matt, I think you're the one for this.
Okay, so I really started playing this ship a lot right after our tier maker last year. I think I put somewhere between 500 and 700 battles in a month in Colbert. I think meta. I think it's low meta, high competitive, and the reason why is that the DPM is, I believe it's still the highest of all cruisers at the tier. It might be highest DPM of tier 10. No, never mind. Not considering torpedoes, but gun DPM is. And the AA is good. The detection is good. Now, it's much tougher to play, but it's still really good at what it does. It can damage farm, it can hit DDs, and that's one of the best parts is if you pull up on a DD, I think you can hit DDs for 5k salvo. So what is that? So about 12 seconds. If you hit all your shots, 12 seconds and the DD is dead. So I'm still of popular opinion, like last tiermaker, where it's high competitive, low meta, but I'd also like to hear your guys' opinion.
So I'm actually just going to say let's put it right next to Austin. I think it does DDs incredibly well, but it is incredibly risky. It is a skill cannon. It is too many people die in this thing, and that's just because of skill. That's all. Like the ship, they let the ship down.
Also, Matt, I recently did the math with you. I think it was yesterday I did the math with you. This thing does not have the highest gun DPM of all the.
Okay.
There's one cruiser that's better than it.
Of main guns.
Of main guns.
Of main guns. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there is a cruiser that is better than it if you spec it for it, and that's before you activate certain abilities.
I think the Colbert doesn't go into meta. I don't think it hits meta. I think it's got the potential of being in meta, but right now it just takes a lot of skill to get that into meta. And in general, there's a lot of other easier meta ships to play than it that just do what it can do.
If you get caught lacking by one battleship once, have fun. You might die.
Oh, yes, but then if you have the legendary commander, sometimes you actually want to get hit because then you get your rudder reduced by 50% time. So then it turns faster.
Well, yeah. Also, you have adrenaline rush.
Yep.
Okay, I'll put it this way: if you are a high skill player, this thing is definitely meta. If you are a normal cruiser, it probably is competitive to high playable. But
if you're a normal player,
I'm of the opinion that but I'm saying like if you're a top player or you want to be, Colbert is definitely a very good learning curve.
Oh yes, Colbert. You want to learn the game, learn how to dodge, and be rewarded for good positioning. Play Colbert. It's a really excellent ship for that.
Pretty much, if it wasn't for a game today that I played in the Colbert, I probably would have just kept it in niche because it is like it's a skill cannon. You put more skill into it, it treats you better. But if you don't have a lot of skill, but that doesn't actually equate to all the other rankings. So I completely agree that it's like, hey, it's got a lot going for it, but high competitive or high to mid competitive. Yeah. Next one. This one actually got a buff since we last talked. It got a range buff. So it's not always needed to go that tricked route. How are you guys feeling about the Des Moines right now?
Des Moines, okay.
Yeah.
I'll let Alister go. I went for quite a few cruisers in a row.
Yeah, because you've named more of these than I have. I mean, you've put
this is more of a heavy cruiser.
Battles in like nearly every single one of these ships so far. 2,000 in Des Moines.
Yeah, but you're more of a heavy cruiser main. You're more of a heavy cruiser main. Let's go, Alister. What do you think? Des Moines.
I'll put it in low competitive.
I agree.
I'll put it in low competitive.
I'm gonna argue high playable.
You have very low range, yes, but kind of can work with it, honestly. Like I've gotten a lot better at working with low range ships. Since last time we talked, I was terrible with them. I couldn't make them work. Yeah. There's a lot of patience and a lot of positioning that goes into it, but yes, you can make it work.
So I'm going to go for high playable because of just the amount of other cruisers that are going to be within competitive. It doesn't really eke in there. It works as a mid to high playable ship. It really does. It's no longer this lower playable ship. The range increase really did help out its capabilities overall. But I think, especially with the tricked version in the mix, I think that the regular version sits at it's playable. It's good. It's solid right now. There's nothing really wrong with it. You can push it a little bit further. But because of other ships, I don't think it goes in competitive, in my opinion. What are you guys' thoughts on mine?
I'll be taking Alister's side on this one for sure. Based on the other cruisers that we have up there, I still think I actually I'll tell you guys a small story about Des Moines. I took off range mod in December. I think it was 2 days later, I broke the record. So I am of the opinion that Des Moines is actually better once you understand it without range mod. So I do agree that it is low competitive here.
Okay.
And we can talk about Tricked because it's coming up as well. But the biggest thing that I noticed between range Des Moines and normal Des Moines is you lose dispersion. You lose you turn Des Moines into a semi-accurate cruiser where you can actually push and you use your AP consistently. To where when you put range mod on, it is way harder to be more precise. Like if you're rushing down a Montana or, okay, I'll give an even better example. Jinan. Jinan is very tough to hit. If you put range mod on Des Moines, you lose your dispersion. Well, of course, range does actually help dispersion a little bit, but I have
Not
noticed
that much.
a huge difference. Yeah,
Not
I've
at that
noticed a
range
huge
because you're
trying-
only increasing it by what, like 0.6 or point something like that. It's not like
So
it's not like Montana where you're adding almost like almost a whole kilometer onto it. So that's
there's also another thing about the leg mod that you guys have not brought up.
minus reload.
You
lose
add
your
reload.
dispersion. You also lose DPM. What is Des Moines known for?
Yeah.
Deep.
You're just a DPM cruiser. And with the range buff it got last year, Trick Des Moines, I'm going to assume both these Des Moines have Halsey.
Yes.
I'm going to say Trick Des Moines
Oh.
only has leg mod.
No Kincaid.
Trick Des Moines belongs in playable.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Now, okay. Now, I can see where I do agree with Alister on this.
It's
Once you're
training
at
wheels.
the higher end of players. Now, because of the training wheels, I will actually say that they are side by side. One is not greater than the other for the normal player.
But for the better player,
Regular Des Moines is better.
okay, that's a change up.
That is a hot take right there.
Oh man,
Now,
I don't know how I
just
feel on
like
that.
Alister said, if you are willing to spend that little bit of money for the training wheels, it does help you. But when you take those training wheels off, oh my goodness, does this thing turn into a DPM machine? That is my take on it.
Yeah, like effective DPM because you can
We're gonna
have
see
DPM.
comments, that's for sure.
Like with Trick
Interesting.
Des Moines versus regular Des Moines, not only are you losing DPM from the leg mod, you're also losing it from dispersion because you missed your target. So you were losing a lot of DPM in comparison to what you had with just regular Des Moines.
Yep.
Interesting. I'm gonna leave this up to the comments. I don't know if I agree with you guys, but at the same time, I see your reasoning, and I'm like, oh crap! I'm now gonna be low on credits again. But,
Well, you can
oh
put
man,
point up with the other Des Moines. That's up to you, man. This is just
no,
our
I
opinion,
actually almost
obviously,
like
the three
that.
of
I
us.
like the idea of the low competitive versus high playable. Like almost, it's like, hey,
Well, the other thing that you also have to think about, Sly, is it's kind of like the push yourself series. If you want to push yourself, take it off, try it.
yeah,
Push the ship
that's-
to its limits. But
I was
if you are, comfortable with it, then stay with range mod. It is a big investment.
Like
interesting.
that's me personally. I'm not willing to sell my range mod because Buffalo exists, and I have Buffalo.
That's true.
But
That is true.
If I didn't have Buffalo, I'd sell it and just play Des Moines.
I have worse takes that I want to defend than this. So, I think we're gonna leave it there. We'll let the community decide whether or not we're right or wrong on this one.
Okay.
Gibraltar.
That is an Alister take right there.
I've played some games in this thing. It's a pretty good damage farmer. That's
Also
it.
massive. It's massive.
That's it.
Massive.
No. Let's talk about this. We can get this is going to be a national shit on Gibraltar. I have 86,000 average damage in Gibraltar, and that was last year when I got it. You have AP only guns.
Yep.
And you have the golden lion problem. You shoot right through destroyers. You have secondaries that you might as well just throw something in their general direction because you can't even hit battleships with these things sometimes at like point blank range.
Marseille effect.
Well, it's not just that. It's like, you ever watch Spaceballs? You got its side. That's your gunners on the secondaries. Like, they're just going off. It's like a chameleon's eyes just staring in random directions, bro.
Careful, you idiot. I said across her nose, not up it.
Sorry, sir. I'm doing my best.
Who made that man a gunner?
I did, sir. He's my cousin.
Who is he?
He's an asshole, sir.
I know that. What's his name?
That is his name, sir. Asshole. Major asshole.
And his cousin?
He's an asshole, too, sir. Gunner's mate, first class, Philip Asshole.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Yo!
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Keep firing, assholes!
I would almost put this thing in needs fixing because it's that bad.
Oh, I have this on low niche too, so I'm like, shoot, I can't.
Well, I would.
Oh my
The
goodness,
only reason
dude.
I argue this is because of the DD meta. You can't kill these destroyers. What are you gonna do?
That was why I was like, if you get into a battleship game, Gibraltar can farm.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
can, and it's got so many smokes. You can do some funny things with that. I can't argue with that. I can't.
No, you can't.
Oh my
My logic
gosh.
is undeniable.
Alright, guys, I'm gonna try to save tier maker. I'm gonna argue it's niche because, like you said, Sly, I'm gonna use this logic against you.
Yeah, no,
Once you
please.
get in the battleship games, it has a good niche.
It does.
Okay,
It's
the meta right. Okay, so
Yeah.
if you've ever played EU, they have the opposite effect of what NA is. They have more battleships than they do DDs at the moment. So I would argue it's somewhere like it's by no means playable. It's by no means higher.
yeah.
It is, but I'm gonna argue it's better than Castilla and some other things we're gonna throw in needs fixing.
True.
Okay.
True. Yep. True. I like that.
Okay.
Yep. I like that.
Acceptable.
I like that. Yeah, I was like, I had it in low niche. Like, it's like, it's got something, but not really much. It's needs some help.
Yeah, it's struggling.
Okay.
This is a very rough.
Yeah, it is a very rough ship, but at the same time, I don't think it's been sold in a long time. Maybe even Wargaming forgot it existed.
No, it's been a minute too.
Yeah.
I bought it
Yeah, it's
sometime
been a
last
while.
year.
Yep. All right,
And
now
my
let's
win
talk
rate is
about.
tragic because you can't kill
Oh.
destroyers.
No, you can't kill destroyers. If you put Tovey
No.
on it, it makes the battleships hilarious. That's just Citadel City.
Yeah.
God.
Enemy cruisers, you just melt them.
Yep.
Except for the DPM cruisers, they'll shred you right apart because you're fat.
Ooh, yeah. Now let's talk about a ship that had glow up.
Oh,
Big one.
Had a big
glow
glow
up.
up. Now remember, we do have a tricked version in this, which I think we'll definitely need to talk about almost at the same time. But Goliath got some nice buffs overall to its capability, its overall health,
yes.
everything. I think that right now, regular Goliath is nice, high playable. It's a super solid.
Completely.
Yep, I agree.
Oh,
just-
100% is a great cruiser.
And the only thing really truly holding it back from being an amazing, say, go get it, the fucking grind. That grind is still horrible.
I would argue
It
the
is-
commander. You know, I would just argue the commander.
Okay, well, now let's talk about a good
The grind is
commander.
still
Let's talk about
abhorrent.
Jellicoe. If you have got Jellicoe,
Competitive.
Okay, now
high competitive.
okay,
Not,
High
Ooh,
competitive.
Okay,
On top of
now
competitive.
I'm thinking it's mid competitive.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
under Colbert at least.
Okay, under
Or
Colbert.
Yeah,
even
under
Zao.
Colbert. Yeah,
I was like, this
That's
thing is
fair.
tanky.
That is
This thing is
definitely
tanky, and the AP that it has, a lot of people sleep on it. A lot. Like,
Yes.
100%.
APCS has the exact same thing as, like, kind of just regular APCS. On Goliath, you start chunking battleships, and it is hilarious when
So-
all of a sudden you get that.
That's another thing we can talk about right here. Is we talked about Jellicoe, of course.
Yep.
But
Mhm.
we forgot about, you can literally put BD on this thing because the smoke and heals as well. You don't
Yep.
need IFHE plus anymore with the ship.
No, you don't.
Our eyes have been open to APCS Goliath.
But the thing
Red.
is, IFHE, like nobody talks about this. IFHE Goliath actually has a lot of benefits. Sorry, IFHE plus Goliath actually has a lot
Yes.
of benefits because
Yes.
Yeah.
your AP full pins DDs if you don't take APCS.
Yep. You get the Zao effect.
So exactly. So this is actually one of those ships where, like, whenever you look at all these ships, you want to take APCS on every single one of them except for Goliath so far on this list.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and Austin,
IFHE
you want to take
plus.
IFHE on Austin. But yeah, Goliath 100% IFHE plus.
Yeah. No, Goliath has had a massive glow up, and I can't make it work on my press or on my main account, but that's just me. I need Jellicoe. I feel I just like I've experienced it on my press account, so I'm now experiencing it without IFHE plus or IPCS, and I'm just like, God, this thing sucks. But I'm like, I think that's mostly me. That's probably
another thing about this ship as well, and we don't talk about for most ships because guess what? They have trash AA. Is Goliath has great AA.
Yeah,
you can defend yourself.
It does,
except for FDR. Nothing can defend itself from FDR on this entire list, except for
Worcester.
Look, nothing can defend you from a good TV player.
Yeah, nothing.
No, nothing. Zip zero nada.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
Man, we're kind of on a roller coaster right now here. Howden Leeuw.
We just took an all-time low. We just took an all-time low. Put that, there you go, right there. We don't even have to talk about it.
No, it hasn't gotten a buff. It got a leg mod, and we'll talk about that soon. But the Howden Leeuw.
Oh yeah, put that down there too.
No,
how
you can put it in niche.
Dare you? Yeah, I was like, that is definitively niche. Yeah, no, it's actually I'd say over Gibraltar.
No.
But yeah, no, it's Howden Leeuw. Once you have that third airstrike, it's really nice. But regular Howden, oof.
Okay, so is this like low niche? I can agree with low niche.
It's eventually going to be low niche. Eventually, it's going to be low niche.
Okay.
Yeah.
This thing belongs in a dumpster. You got Golden Lion. You grinded your way up there for this absolute trash can of a ship, and then you trick it out, and it's still dog water. It's still complete trash.
Its main guns need help. I've actually suggested that its HE gets a buff, like just basically make it actually kind of like an oddly good HE ship, like in terms of damage, not in terms of fires, but in terms of damage. That way it's something against DDs.
Well, the biggest thing that you look at whenever you see Howden Leeuw is you don't have enough range where you can't have the Moskva effect where you have less DPM but more range, so you can have, like higher effective DPM, where with the range that this thing has, it should have less than Des Moines DPM, but it should be a much higher DPM cruiser.
Yes.
It should be. It really should be.
And once again, we have secondaries hauling the guns on the side of the ship. 3 of them per side. Those don't need to work.
No working.
They're ornamental.
They're there for show. Exactly. They're there for show. It's like Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Now,
and
the trick...
I'm not sure.
The tricked version is really good, though. Like, I really... Like, it feels nice. It does. But Trump still does it all better.
I was going to say Trump exists.
Yep, exactly.
Second of all,
Trump is way better.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like, I tested this a long time ago in a training room. I think I might have talked about this last year, too. The airstrikes were glitched, where if you drop... Like, let's say you have all 3 airstrikes.
Mm-hmm.
I was only using 2 at a time. If I dropped my first one on a ship in training room, it would do full damage. You could get, 20, 30,000 damage drops on battleships if you get them right. It's insane how much damage. But then you drop your second one, and a quarter of the bombs actually work as intended, and the other ones don't actually register as hits. And we
got the awesome last reload issue.
Yeah,
too much damage.
I was testing this, and we were stacking 3 carriers in square to see how much damage I could get. And that's how we found out that it wasn't working.
God. Let alone the legendary commander still does not work for them either.
Oh yeah,
it's God. At least the discounts on them still appear. For a while there, they didn't appear for the Dutch.
Nice.
Oh man, they're unloved children. All right, now, okay, I'm gonna take this one. I have to
go for it, and we'll talk about it after.
Yep.
I formally apologize to the World of Warships Blitz community for how bad of a take I had last year, because the Henri is a faster buffalo in him, but this thing's better. This thing destroyed him. I am so sorry. It's borderline war crime if you have Omni on it, which I do. It is super fun. It does everything that the Castilla wants to do, but better.
That is right where it goes.
Yes, it belongs there. 100%.
I put it in niche last year, and I fought for it. I'm just looking back at it. I'm like, God,
I thought I was going to have to pull a WWE, pull the money out of the bank move, but thank you.
Yeah, we were about to argue with you for like half an hour over this.
No, actually, there was a game that God, what map was it? Shoot, I think it was Cage. Actually, it was Cage, but the triple, not Epicenter. Damn it, Domination. Like that. I went through, dominated A, and then got over to C, and then had enough time still to go kill the carrier. I was like, okay, no, I can't. No, but Matt, would you please do that? Yep.
The best part about Henry is the fact that you actually have options. So you have legendary mod. Now, if you are a full-blown psychopath, which sometimes I am, you take reload mod, and then you take, instead of concealment, to help balance it out, because I don't know if you can like put it out there, Sly, where you can like see the legendary mod or not, but it would actually help with this one.
Yeah.
Where your surf detection actually gets nerfed to where you're basically seeing at battleship levels. Now you can take, concealment and try to kind of figure this out where, you're somewhat in between. Or you could just take speed and just be an absolute like Marceille, but way better. Yeah, exactly. So you can do that, or you can run dispersion and speed, or you can run full concealment with dispersion. So many different options. I absolutely love this ship. I actually had a big blow up. I think last year around this time I had like 75K, 77K, and I raised it all the way up almost to like 93,000 now. So I've been grinding the ship, learning it, making it, what it should be. But you can ambush, you can run. The only thing you can't do is really shoot HE. Now, even like it's meta, but if it had AA, it would be war crime. It would be war crime.
It would be.
Yeah.
I'd actually disagree with the HE. I think the HE is actually quite usable for people who are still learning and trying to, kind of grow. This is a great ship to learn AP and HE on, because the better you get with the AP, the less you use the HE. But you can still use the HE. If someone says, hey, by the way, that one just went off cooldown, you can do some dirty stuff with the HE.
Yeah, If you see a battleship at max range and you see him damage con, you have rapid reload, why not? Just shoot HE.
Oh, yeah. No, I think it's still usable.
We talked about earlier, when we were talking about Colbert, this ship will teach you positioning and how to work the game. Henry is just that on steroids. You are rewarded more for your good plays, and you're not punished as hard as for your bad ones. I mean, you have better range.
Really?
I mean, Henry.
Yeah. Okay, you have way better base speed. So the thing about Colbert is you have speed boost 4, I believe, and Henry you have speed boost 3. So here, I actually have the game pulled up. Give me 1 second. Let me go look at this.
You have maneuverability buff, and I don't think you're faster than Henry.
So base speed in Colbert is 32. Yeah. So I have Henry built for speed at the moment, and your base speed, if you take supplies, is 38 knots. Base. So you're running about 45 with speed boost on.
Well, we can also talk about this. You have roughly the same propulsion, like from time to full speed, as Elbin. When you have engine boost, you're like, 45 knots?
Yep.
You are flying. Like, there's fire coming out of the water behind. How fast
all right. It takes 10 seconds to get to full speed.
It still goes back to, there was actually a video for the PC community a while back of that Henri is actually physically impossible to do. The amount of engine power it has to push through the water would literally destroy the boat.
Yeah.
It would not be able to work.
Very funny to tell.
Oh, yeah. No, it's completely...
There's some rockets attached to it.
So, I would actually say, I would say Henry is more of a skill cannon than Colbert is, and let me tell you why. If you put speed boost, you now have to... Everyone knows, I love putting concealment on stuff. You have to now balance being looked at, and also, if you're pushing down a flank, you can push way too far. You can hit map border on accident. Map borders become why are you here? So I really do think that this is even more of a skill cannon than Colbert, where you have to know, okay, I got to pull back. I can't keep pushing. I'm going to put myself in a bad spot. I'm going to get cornered because of the map border, and there's going to be so many people. So that's kind of where I stand on Henry. But, just like Alister said, it's on steroids.
Yeah. It is.
If you know what you're doing, you get more damage.
And unfortunately, this was I think, my second cruiser that I ever grinded. And I have yet to revisit it to improve my stats and fix the damage done.
I've been working on it. If I had probably looked over my last like 5-7 battles, I'm betting I'd be averaging like 85, 90. Doing pretty well.
It's not bad.
Yeah, no, it's not. But if you look at my total average, I think it's like less than like 50. Like it's I was not a good player when
Mine's
I got
bad. Mine's
Yeah.
I think mine's like 65.
it. Oh man, God, poor you getting 65.
Well, that was back when I first started playing. And obviously I just run. I'd run in, activate rapid reload, die.
Yeah.
I
I did 50k. Woohoo!
Exactly.
Henry is one ship that I wish I could re-roll the stats just to see what they look like. But, never mind. I'm not going to mention stats. Let's move on to the next ship. Hindenburg.
Oh, the Hindenburg. Okay. I think I'm going to have to do the hot take one on this one.
We'll probably agree with you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
I agree. It
Really?
wasn't
That was a
that
hot
bad.
take? God damn it.
No, that's not a hot take at all.
Damn it. Okay,
Hindenburg
fine.
without
Let's do
Leghorn
that.
is struggling.
Whoa, wait a minute. Okay, now hold on, Sly. If you can guarantee me that normal Hindenburg gets rapid reload too by putting in needs fixing, I'll agree.
Hey, actually, Sly, while we're here, can we get Black Hindenburg with Elbing torpedoes and rapid reload too?
Exactly.
Actually, I've suggested to them, that was one of my
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
suggestions, is actually just give Hindenburg Elbing torpedoes.
I would love that.
Like, just give it that. That way, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, no, regular Hindi, it has a purpose. It does.
Yeah.
It's just kind of aging, and I think it needs a little bit of love to kind of get that fully up there. The tricked version definitely helps, but it doesn't,
Well,
like,
we'll
there's
get to the
other-
trick version.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
but what are you guys'
We'll get
thoughts on
to
the
it.
Hindenburg? Elizabeth, what's your guys' thoughts?
It's struggling, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's struggling real bad. I mean,
I'm glad everyone finally caught up to me, because I was calling this
The
bad
range-
last year.
the range on Hindenburg without leg mod is it's not bad. But I'm going to be honest, it comes from somebody who does not like the Zao. Play Zao instead of Hindenburg if you're going to play without leg mod. Honestly. Because you have so many more options.
Hindenburg, I still remember, like, a few years ago, I was calling it bad, and a lot of people were even saying, hey, no, it's not a bad ship, it's not a bad ship. It has two, when I remember looking back 2 years ago, it had two stats that were better than any other ship at tier 10. The amount of torpedoes, which, of course, is beaten by Zao, and then it had the
Yes.
best AP pen. That was it. That was everything else is mediocre. And now that mediocrity is showing.
Yes. I actually
100%.
proposed a long time ago because it has decent AA. Give it some DFAA charges as well. Because why not? It's a German cruiser, yes, but it's still a cruiser. Give it something. At least make you
Yeah.
feel like you're participating. Planes are flying around. Instead of just sitting there with your little T-Rex arms, just I almost got him.
Before we moved on to Tricked Hindenburg, do we still want Tricked Des Moines where it is? Because I feel like it might be above Hindenburg and it might be above Hindenburg, not Goliath.
It's above Hindenburg, but I wouldn't say it's
Yeah.
above Goliath.
Okay.
Okay.
We can move Hindenburg down.
That's fair.
Now
Tricked
Tricked.
Hindenburg.
Tricked Hindenburg gets
Ooh.
increased range and most likely hipper, which is phenomenal.
I would say I think it goes right below Tricked Goliath.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm. You get a nice
we
range
talked
boost.
about Des Moines earlier, where you lose out on dispersion. And you do with Hindenburg as well when you but you do have precise aim too, which makes up for it when you need it. First of all. And second of all, it's not really that bad dispersion-wise when you're shooting at larger ships.
And add on top
Now,
of
the other
it,
thing
that
is
range
you have-
increase
you have
is
three.
more.
But you also have 3 precise
Yes.
aim tubes.
As well as Sly, you talked about Hipper. But that's not the only commander you need to run on that ship. You can also run Sheer if you want to and just play pure tank.
Yep.
And just, that's what I do with it because I play it for competitive. So I can help my battleships at range eat damage for them and then just shrug it off like it's nothing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there are
Now-
other captains for this that you can work with.
Oh yeah.
The one thing I did forget to say about normal Hindenburg is even though normal Hindenburg is unplayable, it is still better than Venezia, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll get to that
It
later,
does.
bro.
Yeah, we'll get to that
Later.
later. We'll get to that later.
Okay. All right.
Later.
Okay. Now the hot take. I'm
here we go
definitely gonna
again.
say. Yep. Here's a hot take. No, I'm definitely gonna probably get hated on for this. But Jinan is competitive.
Ooh.
Period. And it's all because
All
of the gunboat DD meta coming in and absolutely destroying it.
So
I'm gonna argue it's above Buffalo.
Above Buffalo in meta. Alister, where do you have it?
So it depends. If you are in any game with 3 DD, I'm telling you right now, 3 DDs or less, Matt's right. You start getting 4 or 5 DD games, though. Sorry about that. Somebody just grabbed their Honda to my apartment.
Happens.
Gotta take that spoiler off to sound like a hot rod, bro. If you want to have a solid compromise, you could put it at top competitive or low meta.
I could agree with top competitive, but
we talked about certain niches, like Austin, for example. The niche just drags it up to competitive.
Yep.
Jinan? I mean, I've played some of these cruisers, and I've made the mistake of going broadside in the wrong spot with Jinan. Just dead. Gone. Literally instantly dead. 2k damage out of me. You just die. And that can happen to battleships.
It does have a niche, and that's why I'm not arguing niche at all. It does have that. The problem is that right now in the meta, that niche is rarer than normal, and it's going to move back to meta once they do some buffs and stuff like that. But I also think this did get nerfed since the last one that we had, and Jinan got nerfed hard. It's incredibly easy to kill. It's incredibly easy to kill now. And it's got massive.
Here is my concurrence with everything that you guys are saying. So, when you do get those high DD games, the other thing you have to realize is, Jinan, when you run reload mod for equipment, you have roughly 17 salvos. That's over 72k AP DPM, which you can use very effectively versus those DDs.
Yes.
Now, this is why I say, if you got battleships every single game, again, another war crime ship. But with the DD matchmaker, it's still like the biggest thing that they did not touch, like they did with Sejong. They only nerfed concealment, and they took away a little bit of AA. They didn't touch the damage potential. The damage potential for this thing is absolutely insane, or as Bob would say, buck nutty. So I really do think that I can understand low meta, but from what I've been able to see between Steve and me when it comes to farming in this ship, even when you have high DD games, it's still in that meta category for the higher tier players. Now, I can see with that concealment difference, it's going to be harder to consistently do it, but I still believe it's meta.
Actually, Sejong did not get nerfed as hard. Jinan got nerfed harder than Sejong. Jinan got both the nerfs, just like Harbin. Sejong only got one.
I think you guys got fact check, because from what Steve told me, he said only detection got nerfed, and he has the record, and he's kind of scared about it. So that's the reason I say that.
No.
On to the research.
Yeah, no, right? When was that, though? That was a bigger question, and now I have to remind myself is when did it get nerfed?
4 updates ago?
Yeah, I think
3 updates ago? No, it would have been 4. But that's just my opinion on it. I still think it's meta.
Yeah, I can... It's barely holding on the meta for me. I just can't. It got main battery decreased, concealment decreased, air defense got decreased. Harbin got hit.
How much did the main battery get decreased by? Is it dispersion or
got increased? Main battery reload time increased by 0.2 seconds, and then concealment got increased by 0.72 kilometers.
Concealment is the biggest one because the usability of it got like crap.
Yes.
Yeah, it got the single largest one of the 3, because Harbin got 0.48, Sejong got
Harbin got
0.4
nerfed way too hard.
Yeah, Sejong right
Harbin
now.
was
That's why I
really
love
good.
Sejong. Like it's got that perfect, overall.
I was told
But
Sejong got hit harder
Sejong,
than Jinan.
Sejong or Jinan got hit by 0.7 kilometer concealment issue.
Okay, I stand corrected.
Yep, I was like in 6-3.
Ginan still belongs where it is, personally. Where you have it right now, it's either there or the bottom of meta.
I'll concede on that. Will you, Matt?
Yep.
And I agree that the moment that the DD meta kind of gets fixed up, whether or not we get a DD limit, whether or not we get something, and the DD meta kind of goes away, Jinan goes right back to meta. I completely agree with that.
Okay.
All right, boys. It's Matt's favorite ships. You gotta take this one away.
Hey, it's my favorite ship. How is this yours favorite ship?
Can you
Because he hates
possibly
it.
make like a tier under needs fixing? Like just put it like wait, maybe you should just leave it, like down in the black where like nobody should ever touch it.
Go back to the shadows.
No.
Wasn't built right. Let's go back to the factory.
Wargaming, please buff this. I want it to be good so bad, but it's just it's okay, if someone's sitting in your face, so many things. But the best part is if someone actually ends up in your face, like I have 18k to Mino with Marseille guns, and I'm like, what?
Yep.
But for the most part, it's like at range, it's like so hard to consistently do anything. And they gave it so many things to try to make it good. They gave it speed boost. I don't know why. They gave it rapid reload, which it does need. There's just so many different things you can go in and talk about this thing. It's just, it needs a buff. Probably somewhere in this, it's the guns they need a buff.
Yeah,
I need to pick this thing up at some point just to try and prove people wrong and then also understand.
It's so worth it.
But like,
it's so much fun.
I'm scared of this shit. Like, I took one look at this thing when it came out and I grinded Petro. If that tells you how bad this thing is, I looked at the stats and I have a special place in my heart for Dookie Water ships.
Yeah, you do.
I looked at it and said, I'm not touching it. Grinded to Petro.
Okay, I enjoy this ship, but just like I said in the San Martin grind video, you feel held back by the ship. Like the ship, you feel like you are like you want to do more, but you can't. It prevents you.
So the biggest thing right now is why would you get Marseille when there's literally Henry? If you have Felipe, there's absolutely no reason on this earth that you would ever get Marseille.
Yep.
If you don't have Felipe, there's still no reason to get Marseille.
Exactly. It's just, it's just Felipe's just like the icing on top.
Yeah.
I can't be the only one who would argue this, but I'm gonna say it. Henry without a commander is still better than Marseille with Abagnon.
Henry without a commander is better than 2 Marseilles with a commander.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, no, Marseille.
It's
it
probably
needs
not.
The guns.
That's probably the hottest take of the day, but still, it's crap.
So
it needs accuracy
buff.
buff.
Heard the saying that somebody has 2 brain cells and they're both fighting for 3rd place. That's Marseille.
Yep.
It's so bad.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh man. Okay, let's go from. Okay, actually, someone needs to apologize for this.
Some more.
No. someone needs to
apologize.
Someone needs to apologize for this one.
I would like to apologize to the Blitz community for my horrible decision and my horrible talks of how Mino was horrible. It is the 2nd best cruiser in the game.
There you go.
Thank you.
The highest on the
2nd best cruiser in the game.
Yep.
It is by far insane. Thank you.
It is so
good.
good.
We are so sorry for what we said.
I tried to fight for it too. I just didn't fight hard enough.
I was a trash player then. I'm not anymore. I have come to realization.
I really hope that you guys can forgive us, and because we put Minotaur meta, family, please let me come home. I miss you guys.
Oh my god. No, Minnow is a skill cannon through and through. Absolutely amazing. Has everything you want it to do and then some. And also I believe Minnow kind of pushes Jinan a little bit out of that meta. That's where I kind of put it. To kind of bash on Jinan just a little bit further. But Minnow is just Minnow's love, especially with BD.
Well, crap on Jinan a little bit more. So Same argument, like Buffalo and Henry. Buffalo and Henry. They kind of push Marseille a little bit, a little bit. They kind of crap on it. They make it irrelevant.
No.
It's close though.
Also, so Mino is probably like low S, and then it got the buff to the AA, which was crazy. And then it's like, it's probably the best light cruiser in the game at the moment.
No, it's not.
No, wait. I'm sorry. There's a light cruiser that plays like a heavy cruiser. It is the second best light cruiser in the game.
I actually classify that other one as a heavy cruiser, and then there's a good heavy cruiser in the game. Then
I say it's a medium-sized cruiser. There is a medium.
Okay, let's leave it.
We can talk about this some more, but I feel like they already know what we're talking about, and we don't need to give them more hints.
Yeah, no, right?
Yeah.
Yep. No, especially after I did a 50-minute video on it, and had a nice smoking cigar.
That was just an excuse to smoke a cigar by the fire pit. Don't lie.
No, it was.
Yeah,
honestly,
guilty as charged.
That was a pretty epic video, though.
Yeah, it was, yes.
Moskva.
Although it did sound kind of like my microphone from the last tier list.
Dude, okay. I think Sly was puffing more smoke than the fire was.
I knew someone was going to bring up the fire. Dude, it's those mics. Those mics sucked so bad. I threw them away. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that next time.
Your mic is very reminiscent of mine last year for the tier list.
By the way, I spent 7 hours fixing the audio alone on that video, trying to make it go.
Oh my God.
It was way worse. It was.
I'm so sorry.
Way worse. Yeah. No, I tried. I was like, I am not gonna have to remake this at home here. It's too epic. I like it.
That cigar costs freaking $300. You can't do that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right? It was like a $20 cigar. It's an extraordinary layer. It's not that bad. It's I have like a $100 cigar. I have that. Going. Okay, got it. Moskva.
That's all.
Okay.
That's all you take.
Alister. No, okay, Alister. I kind of want you to take this because I want to talk about the next ship.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Nah, dude.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay, I'll take it so you guys can have your choice on that one because I have another ship I want to talk about too. But hey, it's also my podcast, so not flexing at all. Okay, Moskva, high competitive.
Ooh.
I think it's still super solid, but I think it's kind of aging a little bit. It's just getting a little bit agey, but it's still really freaking solid. I could agree with low meta. I could definitely agree with low meta. Thoughts?
I could almost put this thing lower.
I'm thinking it's still competitive. It's 100% still competitive, but I believe it's lower than Nevsky. Lower. You see, this is kind of funky because
that's probably where I think
probably, but I would still. You think it's? I would say Trick Goliath is slightly better.
I could agree with that one. Yeah, I could agree with that one.
It's somewhere in there. It's on par with Trick Goliath.
Well, for me, Trick Hindenburg is better. But that's for me personally.
Yeah,
I'm somebody who literally Hindenburg that's tricked competitive is my bread and butter. There's a reason why I play it. So I can't. I don't want to just be like, oh.
By that nature, like I think Trick Goliath is pretty good. It probably is a little bit better because of the range. It's definitely easier to play. That's for sure.
Yeah. Moskva's a really good sniper, but I think that now its nerfs are kind of showing that they really affected it, and I feel like they should actually revert those nerfs. And I think it would go right into meta.
There's a lot of things really reverted nerfs.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. Yeah, Moskva, I think it's still super solid. I still enjoy it, but it is still a rougher. It's rougher on the edges now, but it's still just so damn solid. Can't complain about it, right? Holds up. I guess Matt, you want to talk about Napoli?
No.
Okay.
Sly, do you have by chance are you editing clips of what we said from last year into this, or would you be willing to do so? Just one.
God, I already said I was going to be an overworked editor on this one, so yeah, sure, let's go. What do you want me to edit in?
Do you remember what I said about it last year? Let's go back to that for a second. I said
run the clip.
It needs fixing.
Playable?
Playable. I put it needs fixing personally.
Bob Lynn's going to write your thesis now.
I think it's playable. It's fun.
Yeah.
Top secondaries don't do shit.
Oh, there's so much fun when you do a triple of them with Bob. But Bob's really good at it, so... Okay.
I was the harshest person on thing last year. And I was the one who kind of pioneered it. I was like, I said it was trash last year. I'm going to pick it up and get better with it. I went from 47 games, 67K average to, I forget where I am now, like 180 games to like 89K average. This thing is God tier. Low
competitive.
So, Matt earlier said that Colbert has the highest gun DPM of any cruiser. That is a lie. Napoli, when built for the secondaries, without even overload going yet, has better gun DPM. When you get up to, I think I did the math on this thing, with like full build. If I'm not mistaken, it's 128,000 gun DPM throughout everything.
Okay, so what is your one side? Because we were talking about this earlier. What is your effective DPM on one side, not both?
That's your effective DPM, or not effective, but that's your raw DPM on one side.
Yeah,
thank you for specifying that, because that just speaks volumes. That's not both sides going. That is one side. Everyone.
Yep.
And that's not torpedoes. That is just guns.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just gun DPM. Like you are like Terminator 2 holding the minigun levels of gun DPM.
Oh yeah.
It's insane. The only problem you run into is your auto secondaries lack penetration.
Yeah.
But if you run into a light cruiser, or even a heavy cruiser, or God forbid a poor DD ends up broadside without smoke, it's going to die. And if you can catch battleships that are nose in, they're going to die too.
Yeah, I put it at high niche, but I totally can see your point where it's like, because of the high DD meta, it kind of pushes it out though, because there's so many DDs and those secondaries can rip.
We're not done yet.
Oh Jesus!
I was on the exact same page as you, Sly, until I had I had Littorio and both Alister both reached out to me like, hey dude, Napoli's actually pretty good. And at the time I had something very similar going on with my stats as Alister. I won't get into that. But the sheer DPM is insane on Napoli. Now, it might be low competitive, but it still needs buffs to the secondaries. That's the only thing that really does need to be changed about it.
That's an auto secondary rework. Auto secondaries we need a rework, and then it would be
auto secondaries need a little bit of rework, as well as they just need like 10 to 15% better pen on the auto secondary.
Exactly.
They would be great. Like Napoli would be in a fantastic spot. Because
100%. But even for the main battery, just a little bit. Like if you just put 10% sap for all secondaries, I think it'd be perfect.
Yeah, I can
main
see that.
secondaries. Okay.
Yeah, and Giuseppe Verde would actually be really good then.
Giuseppe Verde would be. Giuseppe Verde is also a beast. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
That's the one ship that actually started to open my eyes a little bit towards those things.
Okay. Let's stay on topic though. Let's stay on topic.
But Napoli, as well, I didn't even talk about the torpedoes. You can basically be nose in and launch both sides of your torpedoes at something you're rushing.
You can stealth.
And they reload in the blink of an eye. How fast they reload.
Oh yeah.
This thing is devastating. You do not want to come across a good Napoli player.
God no, you do not want
9.6 kilometer range without camo, by the way. Now, with all of this said, it still requires skill. This is not the Schroeder where you run into somebody and you just say, okay, I'm going to pop my funny button and at least kill you and two of your teammates. This is a very thought out process of, okay, this guy's bowing. This guy, I think I can kill him by the time I get there. This is a very like wishy-washy play style where you're trying to rush down into people.
Yeah, you're very methodical about how you play this.
It requires it requires skill.
It requires some good map positioning.
It's a lot of fun. It's probably one of the better battle cruisers in the game, just because it's so
100%.
much fun to roll into people with this thing.
Agreed.
I want to put it higher, but it's just not.
Also, sneaking 2 in with the vampires is hilarious. Hey, you got to try it sometime.
Yeah.
Leave it. Leave it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Schlieffen 2. Schlieffen 2 would be.
Actually, you know what I did on? I think it was Bob Wynn's stream. It was Dino, me, and Bob Wynn. He grabbed NBR, and we snuck an NBR in with Vampire and Napoli.
That's pretty hilarious. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh my god. All right, Petro has had a glow up. Oh my god. A lot of people want to go with the HE fix. No, the hitbox fix. Oh my lord. It's still just kind of goes in kind of like a playable area though. Like
Okay,
its
I
guns
can agree
are
with
just
normal Petro.
yeah, normal Petro is
Oh
playable.
yeah, we'll get to the next one later. We'll get to the next one later.
Yeah, Petro,
Oh.
the hitbox saves it so much though. It's tanky now. It's tanky.
Here's the thing with Petro. If you were a bad player firing at Petro before, it wasn't the greatest thing. Like, obviously, Petro ate so much damage.
Yep.
But if you were a good player firing at Petro before versus now, you do more damage to it now. I tested it before and after the buffs when they were in now. Because I wanted to see. I was like, okay, you know what? So let's check it out. And, yeah, you can actually, hit guns, deck armor. It's kind of like Petro had the Atlantico problem where you couldn't strip guns or secondaries off of it at all before. And now you can. You can actually do decent stuff as a good player.
I have not experienced any of that.
Go into a training room and just play with Hindenburg against it for a little while and see what happens.
Okay. Because I was like, the last time I tested it was
okay, a decent aimer in Hindenburg, not just some random Hindenburg.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was like Petro, like I've tested it a good bit and played with against some decent players. It is tanky as all get out now just because of how hard it is to hit. But if you can hit, it can still definitely take damage. I'll agree with that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. It's fantastic of a chip. I'm just saying that against a good player, they're going to actually do more damage to you prior because they can hit your superstructure easier. They can hit your guns easier. They can actually do stuff to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Before, you couldn't do that. I tried. I tried for a very long time.
But yeah, it's still just
Let's
playable.
move on to...
You now have the 3 Infinity Stones. You have a Legendary Commander. You have the leg mod, and you have the camo on it. Where did I put this again?
I was going to say, you better not put that low competitive. I was like, no, what?
No.
Yeah, okay.
I'd say it's borderline mid competitive.
I think tied with Tricked Goliath.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They can either go back and forth because Tricked Petro, you talk about Moskva, you talk about Stalingrad, dude. You kick Moskva and Stalingrad out of your range because of how much damage. I've done it to them before. Like, we'll be in a sniper fight. I was taking damage from the carrier, an enemy battleship, and I still pushed a Moskva out of my range because he couldn't deal with me.
Yep.
It's insane how much damage this thing does and how much damage it takes.
Yeah.
You don't have great DPM, but you just hit like a truck.
It's consistent DPM. That's the real thing. Is that because now it's so tanky, it now can stay alive and do the damage over time that it wanted to do before. So, Tricked Petro is so much better now. So much better.
It's insane.
Such a glow up. I'm okay with that.
Oh,
Grind still sucks. The Riga still totally sucks. But
there's one
can't
person
get everything.
Actually liked it. That's the only person I've ever heard who actually. Yeah. And I was so fired because he's weird, but he also likes Marseille.
He taught me how to like Marseille, and I was like, it's a mother's love.
He tried to teach Bob Lynn how to play Marseille too. Bob Lynn still likes to play it like a light cruiser and run around with it instead of hiding behind islands.
Oh man, yep. Well, Petro, I think we're pretty set on that one. Puerto Rico. Alister, and this is yours.
Damn good. It's so hard to place this one.
No, not meta.
No, definitely not meta.
No, definitely not meta.
When I say it's hard to place this one, it's gonna be on the line of either behind Tricked Hindi or somewhere in that line, basically. I think it's probably right behind Tricked Hindi.
I'll agree with that. It's got a little bit of something going for it that's a little bit different, but it's not quite as good just because the armor doesn't hold up as well.
Well, there's another thing about this ship. It's not exactly the armor because you have decent health. Yeah. You have great secondaries. Not Napoli secondaries, but great secondaries for a ship like yourself. You have radar, you got good AA, you got precise aim. You've got better DPM than Hindenburg. But you're like the only battle cruiser that has that kick up and recoil of a battleship. So every time you try to shoot something at range, at least for me, one gun will hit properly and the rest will go over because of the recoil. Every single, unless you auto aim off.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of skill to learn the auto aim off with recoil.
Also, the arcs. I'd say the arcs are kind of a little bit weirdish, almost
They-
borderline Montana-ish.
Exactly. Like I said, you're like a battleship in that situation.
Yeah.
But you are a beast.
See Matt going
To be
back and
honest.
forth.
Matt's
Where is-
wiggling.
Yeah, wiggle.
Hot
wiggle.
take.
Ooh.
Go ahead,
Incoming. I'm going to now. It's still going to stay in the same tier, like competitive, but I would like to say it's above Trick Goliath. Now,
That's
Keep-
kind of where I was going.
so
I was having
the
issue
reason I
placing-
say this is you do have decent AA. It's not the best AA, but this is not competitive. With competitive, it drops drastically. But in randoms, whenever like you cannot argue with the DPM. If you know, like especially with what you're talking, you make this DPM very applicable to everything you shoot at. So
Yep.
That's a
I
good
played
point.
this a long time ago, and I've played a very little of it now. But whenever I do play it, it's like Battleship comes on the corner, 13K style. You're like, what the heck? And you just kind of like stare sideways at it. But that's like no citadels. That's just DPM with like
Yep.
full 10. So when you know how to aim, I would say Puerto Rico's higher. But with the DD meta,
Actually,
it's kind of like I think
No,
it's
you
there.
have a good point. Your HE is still good.
Yeah, the HE is
DDs, you
solid, actually.
Yeah, you still have solid HE. And another thing that I did kind of overlook a little bit that I talked about with Hindenburg, I said you can put more than one commander on this thing. There's 3 that I think off the top of my head.
Oldendor, Palsy, and then what's the third one?
Dewey.
Dewey.
Precise
Dewey,
names.
yeah.
If you don't have Vermont, which I don't, I put Dewey on it for the longest time until I put
I could see that.
Oldendorf helps your dispersion.
Oldendorf,
Palsy
yeah,
makes you a
Oldendorf
DPM
makes this
monster.
thing crazy.
And Dewey just makes you sustain the entire game. You can just sit
Mhm.
back with your battleships and kind of sit there. I
And
mean-
you can defend them if need be.
Exactly. That's what I mean. You can kind of defend them as well as, like, you have, if you're running full tank, which with Dewey, you're kind of doing that. Like the fire, flood
You're
resist.
already doing it, yeah.
Against a carrier, you're insanely good at just chilling out with your battleship, helping them out with AA. Because what's the carrier going to do? Bomb you? It's going to get no damage.
Yeah, I had this in lower
Unless it's
competitive,
MDR.
but I could agree with that. Actually, because you can put slots on there, it's just, it struggles in high DD games a little bit. But if you can prepare yourself kind of like a Fertilla leader, you've got the support to help out, carry,
Yeah.
almost. Or at least assist another DD that maybe wants, maybe like a Regolo, it can't see. Well, now you can give it the sight. Yep. So-
Only thing that I would like to say about Puerto Rico is Wargaming, can you please give it another dispersion camo that's not a camo? Can you give it a space camo? Something? I am tired of looking at my Lego creation of like Puerto Rico because that's what it looks like. It looks like a Lego brick. I mean,
Okay,
it's so
you might say that, but I'm actually a lover of how that thing actually looks. I think it looks very nice. I like the
my,
look of
my
it.
Lego build Puerto Rico, man. I want either the historical or a space camo that gives dispersion because I'm tired of looking at the Vittoria?
Yeah, I know,
That
right?
person's
I
name?
have, yeah.
I'm
Anime
tired
camo.
of it, bro.
Anime camo. I'm tired, Grandpa.
And I'm cool with
It's too
anime
damn
camo
bad.
because there are anime people. There are people who like anime,
Yeah.
but I like space camo historical. That's just me.
100%.
100%.
Because also they give shell tracers.
Okay. Imagine Puerto Rico with space camo though. That would look like
Or
I don't care
Halloween.
like how they make it. Oh my goodness, dude! It would look
2059.
beautiful.
2059 camo for it.
Ooh,
That'd be
Ooh.
nice. Like I said, Halloween camo. would be
Honestly,
nice too.
with kind of like the Lego build, it could be like pretty cool looking.
I personally, I would much rather have 2049 or 2059 and then make sure they give I've told them this, is just give them the like kind of like almost like a sonar line effect. Like it's just like
Oh, that'd be
dotted
cool.
line, just dotted green
Yeah.
lines. And I'm like, it's simple and easy. Just do it. And not too hard.
But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, a Halloween camo would be nice too.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I think they
true.
have 2 different tracer types for it. Could you imagine like an industrial type look to it, like the steampunk for Puerto
Yeah.
Rico? That'd be
I'd
nice.
actually put a lot. I'd put a lot of games in Puerto Rico if it had that nice of a camera.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
right?
so would I. I'd put more games. I already have hundreds of games. Still would. Matt, it's time.
The printer.
It is time.
The printer. And I think I'm just gonna
Ooh, okay. This is interesting. This is so interesting. I want to put it S tier. but my heart is telling me high competitive.
Ooh.
You put it in meta, and I agree that I'd put it in meta as well.
It's so freaking
Okay,
tanky. It's so freaking tanky.
Yeah, 100%. But what I noticed whenever I was playing it is I get so much CV focus that it bound like I played my heart out for 100 games just to see what I could do in Salem and treat it as like my reroll, like for Des Moines. It's better than Des Moines, okay?
Oh,
It is
way better.
A lot better.
Okay, when there's no CV, 100%, it's S tier. It's meta. You can push people and then be like, oh wait, I'm gonna heal all that back real quick. It's like the Druid effect, but better in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing that really holds it back is the CV and just how much it gets focused. If you don't get focused in a CV game, it's the same effect. Like it's still like it's just a better Des Moines.
To be fair, though, you do have also Henry up there, which could run into the same problem of CV focus.
That's where I
But
that's why I
you
moved
can't
into meta.
escape it. So there is an argument.
I do agree that Salem is below Henry and Buffalo. Like that feels like
it's
a
low
pretty good
meta.
spot for Salem.
It's low meta.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
definitely low meta.
Low meta, I can agree with. It is.
It's okay.
I love it. I love it so much.
For
So-
a while there, I always was saying Des Moines, just give it like 2,000-3,000 extra health. It just needs more sustain. It just needs this. And then Salem came out. I was like, okay, that wasn't the 2,000 to 3,000 I wanted, but I would take like 15,000.
Good enough.
I'm good.
I'll take the extra 30k HP. It's okay.
Now,
Yeah, exactly.
Wargaming, would it be too much to ask to get a Halsey skill American commander with like the super heals for Salem? Could you imagine Angry Bull and Adrenaline Rush Plus and the
100%.
super heal? Like the
Okay,
heal plus?
so this is actually a really cool thing that Wargaming needs to do. Eventually, they need to add a master reloader, just to, like even if it's an epic commander, just for US US ships.
Where
Master
is that at?
reloader with or like you're saying, the heals. Like Vincent gets it.
Yep.
Like Vincent gets it, just like Jellicoe. Or what is it? Nelson.
Jellicoe,
Nelson.
Yeah,
Beatty.
Nelson. Yep.
Nelson. Beatty gets it too, doesn't he?
No, BD
Yeah,
gets the
he does.
faster heals back.
Oh, it's faster heal. Is
I
it?
thought it
You're on
was,
the
yeah,
game
because
right
I
now,
thought
right, Matt? Please
Yeah.
confirm. I've been playing this entire time thinking I had better heals with BD. I could have sworn it's better heals.
Guess which British commander I don't have. I have everything else but BD.
I'm loading up.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure.
Jellicoe has like survivals plus and fully prepared plus.
Yeah, that's the.
I think
the
you're right.
twin.
I think BD might.
Nelson gives you better heals, and I could have sworn BD gives you better
could
heals.
be wrong. And now I've got the spinning. Oh wait, never mind.
Because
Maybe
that's what I said earlier with Trick Goliath. Put BD on there for still better heals and APCS instead.
no. You put BD on for the better Mistweaver
Well, yeah, you have that, but Jellicoe for that too.
and Citadel Strike for funds.
Oh, yeah. Put it on Druid. Just because.
But either way, like if they add that for a commander, it would be fun. Even if it's just an epic commander, that's its only skill. It'd be so much fun just to see what it could do.
Oh no, I'm
Yeah.
wrong. He does have Survivalist Plus. You're right.
That's what I
Yep.
thought.
You're right. Yep, he does have it. So never mind. My bad.
You don't know how much X I've put on BD, my Minnow and Druid, bro.
Oh yeah, it's a lot.
Now, okay, before we go on to the next one, just look at the duality of what we have right down here. We have the next two ships, and they're going to be placed as far
Completely
apart.
opposite. Exactly. 100%.
without a cigar and an empty Scotch bottle, I will say
Cruiser in the game
best cruiser in game.
Best cruiser in the game.
This
by a
is
long shot.
extra heals, AP
Mine was
only.
pretty close, don't you think? Like San Martin definitely sketches it out, but like I think it's like San Martin, Mino,
Okay,
everybody
actually,
else.
okay. Can we do this in the middle of the freaking thing? Let's make a new tier. Just these two cruisers, San Martin and Minotaur.
Oh my goodness.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Not really.
Best job I ever had. I'm just kidding.
Best cruisers in the game.
Period. Just period. There we go.
There you go. Right there.
Yep.
Period.
There are no cruisers that are going to top them.
Nope.
These
Those
two
are-
right here, if you want to get better at the game, these two cruisers right here have everything you need to get there.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta have the patience to be able to work through it. You might have bad stats by the end of it, but if you decide to grind out 300 games in one of these ships, you will be far better at the game than you started at.
Yep,
100%.
100%. Period. They're so dang good, and both their grinds are still holding up pretty well. San Martin, I think, is better, but Edinburgh's kind of getting a little bit.
Man, Santander is the DPM of a tier 10.
Yep,
it's quite nice.
No,
I'd actually argue that Santander is almost better tier for tier, almost.
So, whoa.
Because it's all 360. That's all. Like, it's just like you can bow
you
in.
You would think that, and we thought that until we lost EU Rule of the Waves. But let's not get into that because that was a heartbreak story.
Well,
that was an absolute heartbreak.
I'm gonna go into this until somebody plowed down the side of the map and said, "Don't do that."
No, don't do that. Don't.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this. Okay, San Martin's amazing. We're gonna keep it that. Let's handle the dog shit. Let's handle this.
Okay. So hold on. Which one's worse, Sevastopol or Marseille? I would say Marseille's still worse.
No, Marseille you can island hump and you can actually do a lot with it with the rapid reloads.
No, but like,
the Sevastopol, even with the super heavy AP buff that it recently got, which it did get buffed, it still has trouble penning.
With that, okay. So is this like tricked out Sevastopol?
Tricked out
Sevastopol with Makarov?
Mm-hmm. It still has trouble penning. Yep. But they did give it an AP buff. It's just they gave it an AP buff that I think basically made it like the worst AP for a battleship. And that's...
So, we can talk about Sevastopol for quite a bit.
We can. I don't think it's worth it.
But we're talking about... No, Matt asked the question, better than Marseille or not? So, Sevastopol does have super heals, which means you can, in fact, get punched in the face for longer.
True.
But Sevastopol does have boost. It does have a rapid reload. It has some things going for it. Sevastopol literally just has one job. Just punch me in the face because I'm a shiny ship that no one sees. I'm considered trash. That's it. That's all it has.
Yeah. Marseille, I've put in some decent games into it. It's just one of those things of, as you said, it was the dispersion at range. It sucks, but if you can stay island humping, you are showing a small silhouette to an enemy. You are able to do consistent-ish DPM at mid range. Sevastopol, it can't sit by islands. It's too big, and it's
guns secondaries.
It's secondary.
Talk about those.
Either way, they both. Okay, everything needs fixing. Like, this is like the equivalent to dog trash. I'm just gonna say that.
Dog trash. Yeah.
So,
this is the liquid at the bottom of the trash can outside. That's what this is. Like wargaming. You look at these ships. Do something.
This is the gum stuck to the bottom of the trash can. You flip it upside down, and it still stays there. You put it back, and it just stays there for years and years and years and years. Like,
yeah, because nobody wants to pick it up and make it better. No.
Exactly.
You guys gotta look at these ships. You guys got, like, even the niche ones. Help them out here.
Yeah.
Gibraltar needs some help too.
Mm-hmm. Roller coaster ride. Yep. Smolensk.
Ooh, behind Henry. That is interesting. I was gonna say it's like I'm gonna say it's better than Buffalo. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. In my notes, I have it above Henri just because I love Henri. That's more bias from me. So
Smolensk is
you can't compete. It's like Smolensk is the best HE cruiser in the game. San Martin and Mino both AP focused. Requires skill. Smolensk is like, yeah, exactly. So you can literally sit behind an island and just fires. It's the third best cruiser in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By far the best for a beginner. If you run it, you are considered, and I will you down and hurt you.
No. Damn it, dude. No, we're not. We're clipping that out. God damn it, dude.
No. No, just bleep it out.
Okay, I'll bleep it out.
Oh, no.
That way it sounds worse.
You are disgracing.
Yeah, you are. Oh, my God. No, that is horrible. No, Smolensk. AP Smolensk, though, is a fun challenge to do. If you do have a chance, if you don't want to have,
like,
easy AP Smolensk.
When you roll up on the DD.
Hot take. If you want to play AP Smolensk, there are two cruisers in the game who might be a little bit better at that.
Yeah, that's true.
Just maybe.
Just
I'm gonna get
just a tad.
whiplash from us going back and forth. San Martin, Sevastopol, Smolensk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stalingrad.
Jesus, dude.
How the mighty have fallen. We were wrong. It's not meta. It's definitely not meta. It's still the king.
Stalingrad is
It's
now
still
Stalingrad.
really
I don't even remember making it meta. Like, I feel horrible about that as well.
Yeah.
I think we
Like,
did it
what?
just because it's super snip. It's a good sniper. It does that. The problem is that nowadays that's not the meta. Overall, battleships do it better. And then on top of it, it's very easy to break turrets. It's
Okay, but,
very
like-
easy to do damage.
Okay,
It's
but
just
I'm like
playable.
thinking of it this way: is it better than base Petro? Like that's where I'm arguing right
yes,
now. I don't
yes,
know.
yes, it is.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes, it is.
Is like
It is
I don't
better than
think
base Petro
Okay, why?
because
Why?
it's got way better accuracy. The Petro's guns can go wild. You can have inconsistent DPM. The Stalingrad
Okay.
puts warheads on foreheads every single frickin' time. It's just
So-
it's aged, in my opinion.
We can have some fun. If only I had the account to do it, I would prove you wrong. I would go in with base Petro and then Stalingrad and just prove you wrong because base Petro is still tanky.
It's I didn't say it wasn't tanky. It's he asked about the guns. I think that the guns make the Stalingrad better than base Petro. You're getting much more
Okay,
consistent
but
DPM.
better than Trick Des Moines.
That's up to you guys to decide.
Dude, Stalingrad is a bitch.
Look, it's still it's tough because, like you said, warheads on foreheads.
It does
You're
do it.
very precise. Like
Okay.
you can do good damage, but the problem is it's aging. It does
is.
need help.
It's wilted. It's not aging. It's well beyond
wilted,
aging.
yeah.
It's literally middle of playable.
I'll do that. Yeah, it's middle of playable. I'll agree with that one.
This is now the Stalin bad. It's
Yep.
worthy of a
It's
crappy
the
fun. That's how
same
bad
thing
it
as
is.
Sevastopol. It's now Stalin bad.
Like I said, it's worthy of a terrible pun. That's how bad it is.
Okay, I'll
Yep.
agree with that one. I'll agree with that one. I'll agree with that one.
All right.
Okay.
the ship that we all want to be S tier, but it's not.
Uh,
Whoa, that's a hot take.
Pretty good hot take.
Because, in my opinion,
Really?
everything that it does, Hindi does better. Everything that it wants to do. Austin, Buffalo, San Martin, Minnow, Jinan, Nevsky, I can keep on going, does it
And Martin.
better. All of them do it better. This is in desperate need of a buff. It needs help. Even with the tricked version is just going to go in my opinion, one tier higher. Because the regular stock
actually-
version, it is really rough.
I would swap them actually.
Same. I would swap them.
Well, I'd say with Luigi. I'm not saying with leg mod.
Oh, okay.
No,
Ooh,
leg mod.
okay.
No, we don't talk about leg mod goes in trash.
Okay.
Leg mod goes in trash.
So,
Leg mod goes in trash.
dude, I'm not gonna lie. We all knew this was. All three of us prepared for this. We all said like, Venezia's trash. But hearing it said out loud, all the ships that do its job better, it almost brought a tear to my eye. This is one of my favorite
Yeah,
cruisers.
It is so okay. It looks so good. 15
It's such a
shells
good
of staff.
ship. Look,
Oh my
it's-
dude! I want it to be good.
you
Like
want it to be
wargaming.
good.
Please buff it. Please buff
Please
it. Like,
do
okay,
something with this.
Well,
ship.
no,
Okay,
we
look.
actually have it confirmed. They are buffing it.
okay,
It is in
Okay,
the pipeline.
but
It's been confirmed
okay.
by the
But
Chinese
here's the thing, though.
CQ9.
It's like the CNA or whatever. So like
Yeah.
the big thing is, if you go back and you look, the French battleships actually said they were going to get a buff, but they got a fire chance buff. So if we
Yeah.
get like a, I don't know, like a
AP gun buff.
like a
Hold on, wait a
yeah,
minute.
like yeah, it's not going to help.
No,
So
dude, they get the same
Hey,
buff.
okay.
You know?
I really hope Valk or someone else watches this and just hears this one part. Look at all the meta and the cruisers best in the game. If you revert Venezia, it's going to go in the meta. It's not going to break the game again. If anything,
No.
it will actually help with the DD meta, and it will help balance the game even more than it is right now. That is
So-
my take.
Back in the day,
Okay, you go.
go ahead.
In my opinion, they revert the meta. They bring regular Venezia to playable, and then the tricked one with Luigi goes into high competitive because of just what it can do. I still think it
Okay.
needs buffs after that as well
So-
in terms of mobility, actually. I think it should be one of the more mobile ones and even out-turn its turrets. but I think
Okay,
that should
so
be
the other thing
usable
that
to
needs to be
outturn your turrets into a DD, like kind of be able to do that type of thing.
The other thing that needs to be addressed here is Venezia was actually designed to be tanky. It is not tanky at all. It is
No.
actually 38,000 HP. You are not
And
tanky,
made of
and you should
glass.
be tanky. Exactly, and you shouldn't be. You should have tank. You should be tanky, but you're not.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
Maybe a tank
that's
instead of a
something that
mobility.
also maybe needs
Yep.
to be addressed.
Let's
Yep.
discuss this. Minotaur has been in the game since the very beginning. Not quite. But you know what I
Yeah.
mean. Like, it's been here for a long time.
Fourth nation, yeah.
So why did Venezia get the nerf when they just don't like heavy cruisers, bro?
No, I think it got nerfed because actually at the time, with the meta that it was, DDs were not as strong. We did not have all of these really. We did not have Gdansk. We did not have
I
Rigolo.
can agree.
And with that,
That's a
Venezia
good point.
was incredibly strong. The problem is that right after they nerfed Venezia, what did they bring out? The Colombo. And it just does everything that the Venezia does, but better at nuking DDs.
Yeah. Well, I don't know when it
Well,
came out.
okay. So the other thing that you have to keep in mind about Colombo is the pen. I would actually argue that pre-nerf Colombo was way stronger than pre-nerf Venezia, and the reason
Yes.
why is
Yeah.
it was changing the meta so much that SAP is designed to hit certain things too hard. The problem is your AP is supposed to be what you switch over to deal with battleships and cruisers. You are actually like Colombo with SAP was shooting Stalingrad and Moskva at max range in 20 to 25K. That's
Mhm.
what was broken. The SAP
So-
pen was way too much.
Back in the day, when you had the Christopher Colombo line, you saw people like me and Matt. People that, when you look at us, I've heard a lot of people say, like, we are incredibly good at cruisers. We swapped to Destroyer because it was easier to play.
Exactly. I put
played
300 games in gearing.
I put Elbing up. That's how I have over 500 battles in Elbing, my most played ship. And then I played a lot of Monty to destroy the Christopher Columbus.
Yep.
You couldn't play cruisers. And everybody complains, oh, we did nerf the Christopher Colombo because it hits DDs hard. No, it was the cruiser players. Because you couldn't do anything.
Yep.
Even
It's-
Nevsky.
okay, so-
I was eating like almost my entire health bars in Nevsky at 15 kilometers.
The
Oh, yeah.
best way I can describe this is, let's say, like, I played a little bit of Colbert in this time. Colbert still has the same effect because you're such light armored. If you're running away, there is not a dodge you can do whenever there are 16 sap shells that are not too, like, it's not slava dispersion.
No.
It's like splatter dispersion. So whenever there's splatter dispersion, you can't dodge. You're still going to get hit for 5 to 7K no matter what you do. And that's what the problem was. There was no dodge I could do. There was, like, the only way I could do it is if I went dark and I hope they couldn't blind fire. That's the only thing I could do.
Yeah.
And that's what made it so hard to play cruiser. I had way more success, and I'm glad I did play gearing because it taught me, okay, I have to respect the Colombo. But he's not going to just kill me. Like, I can actually dodge. So
Yeah.
Colombo is just way too powerful.
Okay, now back to Venezia, not on a tangent again.
Hey, there's going to be tangents. There's always tangents in these.
There's always tangents. But yeah,
Yep.
Venezia, I could agree with health buff, but yeah, the sap nerf, just everything that they nerfed on it, put it back, and I think it would just go right into competitive with Luigi and be perfectly fine. Like, I think it would be,
Okay,
it would have a
well,
niche.
can we agree that, like, Venezia is like the top of needs fixing, not the end of it?
Okay,
Because
yeah,
I'd much
sorry.
rather play Venezia than I would Howden, Leeuw, or Castilla.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Now let's talk about Tricked Venezia.
I would put it above Gibraltar.
Yeah, it's not about Tricked Howden, I don't think.
Tricked out in Leeuw, it has a better need. While
Yeah.
there's a DD meta, if you get into a battleship game, you can still nuke some battleships with those freaking airdrops.
Yeah, that's true.
I
And
mean, it is devastating. Even
the
with
Venezia
the glitch
still takes
that I had.
was it 15 seconds in order to double tap a DD, and that's if you double tap it. You might even need a triple, so that means now you're at 30 seconds, and you're supposed to kill DDs really quickly.
And honestly, only reason I'm going to argue it above Gibraltar because that Halloween camo is sexy. The shells are beautiful.
Oh,
Dude, I spent so much money just to get that camouflage because I like the sap shells. Man.
Oh yeah.
Welcome.
It's
You have met the
it's
two
gorgeous.
whales.
the 3. Come on.
I am a whale.
I'm a
The
whale.
3.
Yeah. Come on. We all admit it. This is
I'm a camo whale. I love
this,
camos.
This is in fact not a tier maker podcast. This is a intervention for all three of us.
Well, we're not really helping each other right now.
No, we're not. No, we're just encouraging. It's not a good idea.
But at least we have a lot of premiums, but up in the highest tier.
Well,
2
Worcester.
Techrons.
Yikes.
All right,
That's
have fun with this.
Low competitive. I'm going to say it's below Napoli. I think that's fair.
I think that's respectable.
And here comes Sly with the hot take that it's still meta.
No, it's not meta.
I'm
Get
kidding.
out
No,
of
no,
here.
no, 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 no.
There-
No.
Whoa. Calm
I
down,
get
buddy.
something.
Colbert is better.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I have a little bit higher. I have a little bit higher, but I think it just offers a lot. It has a lot going for it. If you can master the arcs, it does really well. It really does, and it still can delete DDs pretty easily.
But the
So-
arcs, dude.
I know the arcs.
This
yeah.
is another thing that they could actually. I'm not going to say pre-nerf Worcester because that was like another Smolensk.
Yeah.
But pre-nerf Worcester was actually super strong, and that's actually another thing that they could buff about it. The arcs are horrible, and they need to compensate for that to help people more because the arcs are truly what is horrible.
Petition.
And we have another ship as well.
Petition to have the arcs, if planes go by them, to get shot out of the sky.
Please, yes. Okay, but if you hit one,
That'd
you
be
destroy the whole
awesome.
squad.
Oh my god, no.
I'm
No,
gonna be
Worcester,
sniping planes.
Worcester still holds up. I enjoy it now. I've learned a little bit more how to play it. It offers a lot to your team, but there's
Okay,
so many better ships at it. What it does.
So here's the thing with the DD meta, it should be on par with San Martin if it had the same arcs. But the problem is your arcs are so bad. Like you can spot the DD. Good luck hitting it.
Yeah,
So-
even at 7 kilometers, it's hard to hit.
And like
Yes.
even with battleships, I've found that I have to shoot consistently all game long, HE, or I need to push just to get, very good damage. Where in San Martin or something, I can sit at range and just shoot AP and get twice the damage. So it's in that range where it just needs a little bit of help in my opinion. It's still a good ship because you have so much variety, but it needs a little bit of help.
Another thing about it is, if you compare, once again, we compare it to San Martin. Let's compare it to those two again. A destroyer that's fast, like we have a lot of fast destroyers. We have Cabo, we have Colbert, Clubber,
Regolo.
Yeah,
Regolo, Bazan,
Yep.
Gouden. All three of those are massive. You should be able to beat the shit out of them. But they can sit at 8 kilometers and bully you because you can't hit them because the arcs are too long. But they can react after you fire.
Okay, to put this in perspective, you struggle hitting Henry. And
Yep.
that's base Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Someone actually came up with a really good idea. Is you take the exact same kind of button style that the Castilla has, kind of with the burst fire. You put it in the Worcester, but what it does is it changes you from a long distance high arc to an incredibly 8 kilometer low arc. So basically, you have to change your guns, but you get an increased or a decreased rate of fire with the low arc.
It sounds like super complicated.
It would be kind of fun with it though, just
It
giving it better
would be,
low arcs.
100%.
So
So
maybe
I
increase
have
its
a counter
increase
argument.
its. Oh, you go. What?
We have, scroll down just a little bit. You see that ship right there that we're going to be picking next? Make it like those are, where they literally
make
go
it
from the stratosphere
faster.
as well.
Yeah, make it
But they're
faster.
twice as fast.
Yeah,
Just make
100%.
Worcester like that, and you're good to go.
Should we talk about Yodo?
100%.
Let's talk about Yodo,
Let's talk about Yodo.
the unsung hero of the game. I say unsung
Ooh.
hero because it's better than that.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like that's a hot. Oh
Keep
my
going.
goodness. Keep going.
Keep going.
Okay, where are you guys gonna put it?
It's all playable.
Top of playable?
I
Okay,
agree.
I would agree with that if you have Togo.
Let's talk
If you
about, let's talk
don't-
about Togo.
I almost put in a tricked Yodo, but the problem is that
Well, let's assume for
if
this it does.
okay, for this it does I see high playable. Definitely. Your HE, you no longer need the AP because the AP is anemic. Dear
Well, you
Lord,
don't use it
even-
anyways,
Yeah.
no matter what.
And now your HE is full penning all the time. Now your 16 guns feel like, or not 16 guns, sorry, 18 guns.
18.
18. Your 18 guns
That sounds so
feel,
wrong.
yeah, sorry, feel really nice.
So
those horrible torpedo arcs and your armor just eats all day. I wanted to put it lower. I enjoy it with Togo on it, but I only enjoy it with Togo on it. You have a regular commander, it's
reason why
bit rough.
you have some bad arc, but you have 13.1 kilometer range. I believe. Sit at range. If somebody wants to, let's say a battleship does make a mistake of, he's lighting me on fire the entire game. Go push this guy. You have torpedoes that these things are not little weak torpedoes, man. They will beat the crap out of something.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it is devastating how much damage your torpedoes do.
Yep.
They're slow.
Bad arcs.
But they hit.
You have to show a massive broadside to fire them off, so people know you're firing
range
off.
really doesn't matter all that much. I played Yodo quite a bit, and not quite a bit. I played Yodo some. I really enjoyed it when I played it.
I still think it needs better torpedo. Let's say give it Napoli arcs, and now all of a sudden it's competitive.
Oh my god, Napoli arcs! Holy crap!
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Okay, hold on. Are we talking about secondary arcs or main battery arcs? If we're talking about main battery arcs,
No, we're talking about torpedo
problem.
arcs. Torpedo arcs.
No, he's talking about torpedo arcs. Okay,
hold
on. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm not paying attention.
No, the guns are fine.
No.
The guns are fine on Yodo. You buff them anymore, they become too crazy.
Hold on. You want your torp angles to be like this, basically.
So
holy crap, bro.
Because it eats crap. Go up against the St. Vincent. The St. Vincent eats you alive. Go up against Montana, eats you alive.
Okay.
This is Yodo.
Okay. Vincent is not fair because Vincent is broken with the dispersion at the moment.
Sorry, my bad. GK.
Why?
GK snipes,
Let's talk
out
about
snipes
this
you.
really quick. You're looking at my space cam. You have torpedo angles that look like that on Napoli. You have it on Yodo.
Maybe a little bit less. You know, you can still forward.
Torpedo angles that are like this.
Okay.
You know, I'm fuck sniping at range with HE. I'm gonna roll in, nose in against GKs and just hit them with 40,000.
No, Sly, you don't understand. That is half of the gameplay of Napoli. If you gave Yodo that, it would probably be top of competitive. Just because of the pro parts.
Okay, let's just hear that now. You guys are just merely moving a top of playable to top of competitive with a single change with the torp arcs. Okay. That's it.
The other thing you have to realize. That's
actually pretty good.
That's it. Look how many cruisers are in competitive.
I know.
There's a lot of competitive cruisers.
That's like over half of the tier. And
in my list, I don't have that many. I have a lot more niche though. I
wonder why.
I know, right?
You have the obsession with niche, bro.
Yeah, I do. It's such an obsession.
I do. This is the year that you guys fix it.
Get it out of here.
No, bro, I think Yoda
was in middle school. Sly was in middle school and he heard the word niche and he's like, I'm keeping that.
No, bro was like, okay. Bro was on an essay and he's like, okay, if I say niche this many times and then have sentences explaining it, I can meet my word count.
Yes.
I feel personally attacked. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. No, everyone does that. But no, Yodo, I think it just needs a little bit of either mobility, better torp arcs. It needs soft stat butts, really. That's all it really needs, and everything would be perfectly in
the crazy part about Yodo, though, that nobody really talks about is whenever you think of Yodo as a light cruiser, you don't think tanky. It is actually tanky, especially with Togo. So that is actually a big, especially like if you get into battleship games, like you have what's your base HP is like 43k?
Yeah, 43, 44, yeah.
Yeah, so, that's as tanky as Des Moines, and then you have torpedo. Like you're basically built, bigger. But you know what I mean. It's pretty tanky for a light cruiser.
So Sly, I'll make this conversation here with Yodo. Treat it almost like a battle in maneuverability. When battleships are firing at you, don't try to dodge after they fire. Wait until their reload's coming up, and then right
before.
4 seconds beforehand, start turning, and then full turn around at max range because your guns are all 360s. So they'll go over you, and then you can keep firing.
No, I have no problem playing Yodo now because I have Togo finally up at IFHE plus. Like now, I have no problem playing it. I just did 120 something today on a game. It's definitely
the fire
playable.
Chance is what gets me. It's ridiculous how good the fire chance. It feels better than.
I just love IFHE plus with the HE. Now all of a sudden you have a full pen on a DD. Gearing showed broadside to me. I taught him what 18 guns feel like.
Exactly.
Hurts.
So here's one
Yeah.
thing I will. What's the exact reload on Yodo? Do you guys have the game up right
It's like
now?
9. I think it's
like
sub
10 seconds.
Yeah, it's around 10 seconds. I know that.
So I know its DPM is
10
somewhere in
seconds
like
exactly.
Yeah, 10 seconds.
10 seconds exactly. I would say its DPM is like mid 50, I think, for HE.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's below 60. If you want to buff the ship, buff the gun reload by a little bit less. There you go, your DPM's.
Bro, your HE alpha is insane.
No,
Yeah,
I
your
wouldn't want to
HE
do
alpha
that. I would
is
just want to. I would make it more comfy. I'd buff the mobility, buff the torpedo arcs. Just give it, and then it's already got an insane amount of firepower, as you said with the torpedoes.
Yes.
Like it's already got a good complement. It just now needs to get that
so
mobility
your
to kind of
that
dodge a little bit.
It's just like you have 18 shells. So like your HE DPM is like 44,000, and your AP damage and your HE damage is only like 10 or.
That's what I mean.
Your AP
Give
damage
it-
is 430. Your HE damage is 410.
Yeah.
Just give it a little bit better. Just a little bit. Like 9.5 second reload.
Okay. Maybe that could be a leg mod or something like that.
I would take that.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, I really enjoy the creativity with certain leg mods. However, some of them need like
Yeah.
Venezia's leg mod.
That's a whole different other conversation. We
Hey,
don't need to get tangent on it right
Wargaming.
now.
If you guys are listening, I've talked about this before. Put the Yamato leg mod in the second slot.
Okay.
If they did that, it would be crazy.
Let's
Make it a
move
fucking
on.
slot.
Let's move on.
Yoshino.
Yoshino.
Okay.
This actually did get a buff since the last time we talked about, and we are
I
going
want
to
to say
definitely.
it's like slightly. I'm gonna say like it's slightly above Trick Goliath. That's where I put it.
That's a
You
hot
guys
take.
are gonna. No,
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Okay. It's the same thing as like Bob Lynn was saying. It is a super Zao. Okay.
Yes.
Think about this. You have more DPM. If you can deal with all the downsides of the ship, you have range. Like if you play this correctly, you can rush somebody and do 70, 80K. So with that in mind, with your DPM, I think when played correctly, Yoshino can be there.
However, I am incapable of playing Yoshino correctly.
I am too. And I would actually like to say there's 3 different ways to play Yoshino, and each way is valid, and each way is capable, and you just need to know which one to execute. You can A, ambush people, B, snipe on just like with your battleships because you have the range, and then C, you can walk upward with your DDs and follow them right in because of how good concealment you have. You can do every single one of those jobs.
Yeah.
You just got to choose which
like-
job are you doing at that time. Because you have the
And
concealment,
there's
you
actually
have the torpedo
there's
alpha.
one thing. There's one thing you can do, and it's called the flex position. I just came up with this idea. Okay,
Oh,
you can do
okay.
all 3. You can do all 3. Okay, if you run detection, you can somewhat play in between that middle ground, between sitting with your DDs and sitting all the way in the back of your battleships. If you do this, then you can decide which one to execute, and then you become way more efficient at everything you do. I do it with like half the cruisers I play.
I would say that all those kind of you're going to change up your playstyle depending on obviously the current needs. But yeah, if you're being a fertility leader for your
but that's
DDs
what
and
he's
you don't need
saying
to help
is-
them, you then
Yeah,
snipe.
basically,
Like, it's
he's
just-
basically deciding to. This is what I do as well. Unless you're hard committing, but what you do is basically you decide after. He doesn't not always does is he decides once he sees the layout whether he can play like that, not before. Like I'll plow head first behind my quarters with some ships, especially Napoli. You ain't gonna do that with Yoshino. You want to decide after. It's a patient man's ship, and I am
Exactly.
patient.
I'm sorry that
Same
I'm sorry that I
I've
gave
killed
a
myself a lot.
interpretation of it. To me, it was like you're gonna choose a path somewhere along that game, but it can do all of those different paths
Yes.
very well. So sorry,
Yeah.
I meant it in that way of like, hey, you got all these
Okay.
different roles that it does incredibly well. But if you play like a fertility leader, but you really should be sniping, then you're gonna die. If you play it wrong, you're gonna die easily because it takes too much damage. But it is
There's a
quick game
lot
Zao.
of ships on this list that you know, cruiser is kind of that grab bag of you're gonna die if you play wrong. Like Austin, Colbert, everything.
Okay,
in competitive
Henry.
is gonna die.
Literally, Henry. If you sit still, like if you try to sit still at max range, And Islam was like, "Oh,
Hi.
what's that?" And then sniffs on you.
Another thing. Smolensk and Minotaur. If you sit still in your smoke, you're going to die.
Yep.
If you're going to be like, oh, the battleships can't see me. Yes, they can, and they will shoot you. And do not sit still. Always wiggle just a little bit.
And if you're on
And
space
make
camo,
plans.
thank you.
You can work with it. But here's the thing about smoke as well with Smolensk and Minotaur. Please make plans. Like, you see the last 10 seconds of your smoke.
Move.
How are you going to get out of here?
Yep.
What are you going to do?
Okay.
Start getting that out now, because you don't want to be sitting still when that smoke ends. You want to be half speed at least running or going somewhere.
Yep.
Like,
keep on
have a
getting on
backup
tangents.
plan, bro.
Getting in tangents again. But Yoshino, it's a
Unless you're
fantastic
playing
photo.
against me. If you're playing against one of us, don't have a backup plan. Just let us kill you, please.
Okay, so
just increase our damage.
About Yoshino is I might jump all these ships, but it's kind of hard for me to place anything between Tricked Hindenburg and Tricked Goliath because they're all so close in there together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same.
So either Yoshino goes there or goes slightly above Blk Zao. That's my opinion of it.
Exactly.
It's somewhere in there. It's not like, oh, well, it jumps all these ships. Well, it's just hard to place it somewhere in there.
Yeah, I agree
So
with you
yeah,
on that one.
the Tricked
about Yoshino.
Hindenburg, they're all very close.
We'll just put it right in the middle because I think it really does play the field on those. Yep. Because a lot of people forget about
it. The last two are all you guys. I can leave the chat right now.
Ooh, wow.
Don't, you will screw up the Discord thing.
Oh no, I won't. I won't leave the chat right now.
Okay. Regular Zao. Now, this is one of the things we talked earlier with the Blk Zao, is that you had enlightening on it. So I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you take regular Zao. I'll take Tricked.
Okay, so normal Zao, I'm gonna put with Blk Zao. Now I'm gonna put it directly below Blk Zao because technically, in every sense, Blk Zao is better than normal Zao. That's what it's supposed to be. Now I have found that I'm actually doing better in normal Zao. I don't know if it's because of the precise aim or what, but like let's say in a full battleship game, I've done this several times where I've done anywhere from 13 to 20 fires in normal Zao, and I get very similar matchmaker with Blk Zao, and like this isn't like a 5-game stretch. This is like a 40-game stretch in Blk Zao. I might have had one game where I got 10 fires.
Yeah.
So what I've noticed with Blk Zao is you have better DPM, but you have to make that like DPM that counts. Not okay. I'm going to shoot more shells of HE to try to set fires. Like you just have to think, okay, I'm going to shoot like AP. I'm going to try to make that alpha damage, if that makes sense. Yeah. I'm just going to try to make that damage stick. It also makes Blk Zao, you have to use your torpedoes a little bit better because you can't rely on those fires. At least that's what I've determined with it. But Blk Zao and Zao, they can range anywhere from best cruisers in the game to niche in a quick hurry, depending on what the matchmaker is. So
it's a definition of niche, though.
But niche is so low. You know what I mean? Okay. And
you guys put it that low. Okay. You guys decided this. You guys decided that it was pushed low.
Okay, look. It can range. So if you get like the worst matchmaker possible and you get cruiser hunters, you're going to end up in niche. Okay?
Sly, I get what you're talking about right here. He's really making a case for niche right now.
Yeah, you are literally making a case for niche.
But okay. So okay. Let me
I think regular Zao, I think you are correct that it is definitely a competitive ship and it is strong. Once again, it's got some of the best DPM in the entire game with its torpedoes, its complement. It has a lot going for you. I counter with, if you have a CB in the game, you're screwed. If you have good DD players in the game, you're screwed. You're spotted, you're screwed. Like it's just so temperamental. But also, once again, you get in a high battleship game, you are the most dangerous ship in the game. 200k easy.
Let me rephrase and restart fresh. So the things that Zao has going for it, you have basically similar to what Goliath has in terms of AP salvos. So whenever you get those high DD games, you can say, okay, I'm going to zone my torps out, use them as zone torps, and then you're going to shoot AP, and you're going to hurt those DDs as much as possible. On the flip side, you get into a battleship game, you start playing surface detection, and you become the big DD, and you start, so you can play both sides of the coin very well. The problem is when you get those certain games, like whenever CV decides, okay, you're dead.
I'm going to keep you spotted the entire game. You're done.
Gents.
No, actually, I would counter that with most of my damage actually comes from the guns.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
What?
Could we
Speed it up.
let's be honest here. No, not speed it up.
Oh.
You guys are going back and forth. Can we just it's going between competitive and right now? Can we just drop it in playable and be honest with ourselves? Because
Okay, as long as it's above Yodo.
it is above Yodo, top of playable.
Okay, thank you.
But here's the thing.
Where's Tricked go?
Because you guys are having this. Oh my goodness, where can it go? Guys, there's Trick Zao coming up.
Yes, but normal Zao is still good. No, what?
No. Hold on. Put Zao above Yodo, and then we'll get on to the Trick Zao after.
Okay.
Because Trick Zao.
You literally defined Yodo as niche. We'll see what comments say.
Yodo,
We'll see what
Zao.
comments say.
Zao is niche. Zao is niche.
What?
You just said you find Yodo as niche.
Or sorry, you just said Zao.
Zao.
It should be niche. Zao should be niche in my opinion. We'll see what comments say. But Tricked Zao, I think that's definitely competitive. It now has insane concealment. Much more
I would
capable.
rather play Trick Zao. I would rather play Trick Zao than Drake Hindenburg in randoms. I'll make that case.
I agree with that. I'll agree with that one.
I can agree with that as well.
I'll do this then.
To be 100% fair with you. To be 100% honest with you, Blk Zao has better DPS.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Yep.
Hindenburg's more comfy, yes, but Blk Zao, you have better reward for your risk.
Oh yeah. Well, boys.
I want Blk Zao. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, you should get it. You should get it on. I need to get this.
I need to get it.
Oh man.
I have a lot of commanders I can put on Blk Zao.
Well,
Oh my God,
I will say,
sorry.
in comparison to what I have on my notes, I have a lot more in niche. I've got 3 more in niche, but that's it. Any other additional changes before we kind of solidify it this year? Sanctify.
Where'd you put Napoli in your list, Sly?
Top of niche.
I think you said high niche. Yeah.
Yeah,
high niche.
it's top of niche, which I think
the
it really
only
does
thing
fit
that
there.
the only thing that I see that I'm kind of like on the fence about is how high we put Austin.
That's you two. I've not touched Austin.
To me, it's
So-
if we go back to a battleship meta, it will definitely go down. Right now, just because the DD meta on EU, I'm betting it's lower. I'll agree with that. Yeah.
So like I find Colbert easier to play than Austin, and then like I started like looking at Trick Goliath compared to Austin. It's kind of like Austin's very good at what it does. It's just it looks just a little bit out of place. I don't know where I'd put it, considering like there's so many good ships below it at the moment, and there's like really good ships above it. So it's
Above
a
Yoshino?
tough cruiser to push.
Okay,
Or
so
below Yoshino?
Austin, personally, I could almost put it underneath the Blk Zao.
I could agree there.
Yeah, I could agree
But
there. Yeah.
I just didn't know how much I wanted to drop it. Like, it's still competitive. It's still a very
Yeah.
good ship. It does well, but it doesn't perform.
So
Like just looking at the ship group, it doesn't perform like the other ships that were surrounding it.
yes,
True, yeah.
the only reason I say Blk Zao is better situation is they're both technically rapid reload. Austin obviously has a far better rapid reload, but you also have torps with Blk Zao.
And don't forget, you have heavy AP, not SAP and HE.
Yep.
So you can now do the
Exactly.
rapid reload of AP close range on a battleship, and now you're chunking big time. So
Well, not only that, if you're close to a battleship, it's already dead. You drop 10 torps per side in that thing to hit like Zao torp. I mean, you do not want to screw with this thing at close range. Austin, you can get away with it because you can nearly one-tap it with just Monty. Broadside Austin is dead
yeah,
with one salvo. Blk Zao will survive, and guess what? You're not going to be happy.
I think if I were to kind of be like, because of my time on EU and how much I played that, I think Napoli would go down to niche, definitely on EU, just because of how much more battleships. And
I
there'd
can
be
respect it.
Zao
Well,
would
not
probably
first
move
user
up just a
here.
little bit. Zao, Yoshino, those would kind of move up just a little bit.
So
But
the one thing I've noticed about EU is that at least whenever I'm playing, it seems like it's always prime time, middle of the afternoon for me, and it's like nighttime for them. Or it's basically like whenever all the CV and Slava divs are on, and you keep on running into constant FDRs and Slavas.
That's what I
And
was about to
then-
bring up.
Yeah, it's much tougher to play on EU
Um,
whenever all these things are going on.
I would like
Yeah.
to bring that up. for the EU. You have the Russian FDR Slava divs. Every single cruiser on this list, against those guys, if they don't like you,
You're gone.
you might as well put yourself in fixing for even San Martin. Because
Yeah.
FDR, two Slavas?
No.
Okay.
I'd say
Oh.
more Minnow is a problem with that one because you can
Okay.
just get nuked, but San Martin can hold it.
Same thing. Both of them can get
Okay.
every single
The
ship on this
biggest
list
thing,
can
like,
get nuked.
that's whenever you do run into those things. But
So that's what I mean. I'm saying
I think it's. I have run into those, and what I have noticed is you just have to play a lot more passively smart, which, some of these cruises play extremely well. So I still think some of these cruises are going to perform better.
Smolensk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, here's another thing that you run into as well. I said if they don't like. And here's the thing about NA. They know who we are.
Yep.
You go over to EU, for the longest time, they had no clue who you were.
Yep.
You were just some no-name, random, fleetless guy. They know who you are now. It's going to be
Targets
a
on
bit
your
more
back.
difficult.
It was kind of fun
Targets on
running
your
around
back.
in some cruisers, and they're like, "Oh no, it's just some random. We don't have to worry about them."
Like I said, every single one of these cruisers, if the FDR decides to spot you and decides to drop you and the Slavas can hit you, every single one of these are going to need fixing. Because you're going to die.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Because either you dodge the FDR.
Okay. So
or you
the other
dodge
thing that we also have to consider here is the nerf that they actually did do to CV spotting. Some would say, it wasn't that big of a nerf. I can agree with that, but it's still a nerf that definitely helped the cruiser department.
Yes.
Because if you're in
Yes,
something
it
like
did.
San Martin or Mino, you can actually, skirt right past the AA sometimes. And, you can go from, oh, wow, I almost had two Slavas bearing down on me. Oh, now the Slavas don't know where I am, and I'm in Mino. I'm going to run around this corner and drop 16 torps into a Slava and get a better position on the PD.
That's something I will say about the Napoli when I'm playing as well. Is you can squeeze
100%.
your way right past the plane.
Yep.
Where
It's a breakthrough
the
ship.
DD on the enemy team, really thought there was nothing on this side of the map. They show up.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know
Hello.
how
They end
many
up
times
pushing
I've
into a thing. They end up pushing into basically Schroeder. Basically
yeah.
Schroeder whenever you hit torpedoes. It's like,
We probably should
crap.
put Schroeder into this one. It fits in the tier time.
It'd probably be in competitive or meta, honestly. For tier
Yeah, it probably would be.
Schroeder is tier 9. It would be the only cruiser. Actually, there would be two cruisers in the best cruisers in the game slot. Schroeder and Plymouth.
Oh.
Those two cruisers.
Ooh. Plymouth would 100% be competitive, that's for sure.
It'd be best cruisers in the game, in my opinion. Plymouth and Schroeder.
Yeah.
Hey,
All
sneak
right.
peek for if we decide to ever do the tier 9 rank. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler. All right.
Right
Anything else?
good. I think this is a pretty
looks
good list.
It is 100% way better than last year.
Yeah.
Way better. This is
And
our
honestly,
apology letter to everyone. Our apology to your maker.
When people have opinions, and they will, obviously some of these ships can go in different places. I think there's going to be a lot of people who disagree with the Zao picks.
Yeah, I agree.
For Zao is very difficult to make work. However, I've seen what happens when you consistently make it work.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
So
insane.
Steve is probably the best Zao player that I've seen, and he's putting out 105, 110. It's for him, it's low meta, which is stupid, insane. And then you can kind of work your way down depending on how you would actually play it. But
yeah,
that's the biggest thing I would say.
That's the only reason we're doing this. And when the comments come, it'll be nice to have this discussion because a lot of the points they can give out, I'm sure we'll agree with. It could have ended up in a lot of these ships, 100%. Except for San Martin, Minotaur, and the meta ships, could end up in different places.
Yep, completely agree. But I think we're done.
Yes, sir.
This is a lot longer than I thought it would be. This is what, 3 hours?
2 hours and 10 minutes. If I don't cut too much,
we made good time.
Yeah, we did make it. Oh my god. But everyone, hope you all enjoyed today's video. Make sure to go over and check out Matt's channel. Actually, over there, I'll make sure I put his name in the YouTube title, that if I can talk now after 2 hours, I like that. But don't forget to like, follow, subscribe on with both of us. It really does help out support our channels, and hopefully you all enjoyed this. Let us know in the comment section down below if you guys agree with us, disagree with anything like that. But outside of that, that is now so many years of tier 10 cruiser tier making. Thank you both for joining me.
Just before we head off, hey Pig Bay, I'm the cabbage man, by the way, so you know. All right, signing off. Have a good night, everyone.
See ya.
See you, everyone.
Have a good year.
Yep, have a good year.
Elbing tier list here that you guys did. Can we actually take Elbing and place Jinan and Destroyer tier list? Like, is that still available?
No. I already recorded all that stuff. I already recorded it. Okay.